Batting second, the right fielder, number 1, Justin Gideon.
Oh!
Batting third,
Good thing you
third
didn't
baseman, number 8, Mattingly Manning. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 16. Welcome back, Sam Cocker.
Don't look down the hole.
Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 23, James Smybert.
So Toronto Barry.
Batting
Yep.
sixth, the second baseman.
That's the only one we could say.
Tyler Dupree.
We could keep an eye on the London Guelph game tonight.
Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 13, Brandon Nicholson. Batting eighth, first baseman, number 10, Mateo Porcelano. Batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 24, Hogan Brown.
How many has he got in there?
And on the mound for the Jackfish tonight, wearing number 55,
My buddies were
Jake
at one of the games,
Harford.
and they said Hogan Brown was at the plate.
Fans, one
And
more
the kids
time,
behind
let's
me
hear it
goes,
for the playoffs.
Hogan
And
Brown's
your
pretty much a
2022
character.
Welland Jackfish.
Is now. You're
Game one of the IBL playoffs coming up here today. The 3-seeded Welland Jackfish taking on the number 6-seeded Kitchener Panthers. Welland starting off with Jake Harford on the mound.
Yeah, he's got to be good. He's Mr. Thursday here at the pond, they call him. He's got a 10-1 record at home against the Kitchener team who can really swing the bats well. They've been hot as of late. They come in sporting an 8-7 loss to the Guelph Royals. A key score runs, and they score runs in bunches. Harford will have his work cut out for him tonight. On the other side, though, you look at the Jackfish lineup. Key names. Gideon having a career year for the Jackfish. So many guys that can contribute offensively. This will be a great series.
Game one of the Dominico Cup playoffs coming up next between the Welland Jackfish and the Kitchener Panthers. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside Welland Stadium for the first game of the IBL playoffs between the Welland Jackfish and the Kitchener Panthers. Thank you for coming along. I'm Brendan Lang alongside Spencer Tangway. You just heard us talking about it a little bit in the open there, but this is going to be a battle of two offenses in this series.
Oh, you no doubt. This visiting Kitchener Panther lineup comes in with a lot of big bats in their lineup. They've struggled at times offensively, which is why you see they lose games 8-7 against Guelph. That was their last loss, which actually paid a little dividend to the Welland Jackfish, as that could have seen them propel up into that first spot. But there's been so many times this team has shown a lot of presence. They are a younger lineup with a couple of veterans like Andy Leader, Liam Wilson, and Blake Jacqueline, who all are in tonight's lineup. Three big bats at the top of the order, where the Jackfish will really have to contain the top of the order to be successful.
We'll take a look at that starting lineup now. It's Jet Jarvis leading things off in right field. Blake Jacqueline, he's in left field, he bats second. And then it's Liam Wilson at first base hitting third. Andy Leader bats fourth. Keegan Marsden at second base hits fifth. Stephen Whalen, the shortstop, hits sixth. Steven Narabecki, he is the DH today, bats seventh. Robbie Gauthier at third base, and it's Dan Mahoney behind the plate doing the catching and batting ninth. And that lineup is going to face off against the Jackfish ace. It's Jake Harford. He's on the mound, and the first pitch of the playoffs is inbound, and it misses outside for ball one, and we are underway here on a Thursday night.
Yeah, it's the first pitch. I love what you said, that first pitch of the IBL postseason, the Dominico Cup, race for that cup as always. But it feels like it's a weird kind of start to the playoffs with Guelph, of course, still playing London tonight for that top spot to see who wins the pennant. That seems like it's been stretched out for long enough. So only two series are set, of course, this one and Toronto and Barrie, which that game postponed.
So London and Guelph will be getting underway shortly here. Being postponed due to weather, it's been pretty good so far here today. Really hot down on the field as Harford delivers a strike, and it's 3-1. He gets back over the plate. But the weather holding off right now. Looking at the forecast, doesn't look like any rain's going to be coming through these parts here in Welland. It's a 3-1 pitch. Harford delivers to the plate, and it's popped foul down the left field side, and he gets right back in the count. It's 3-2.
This will be a battle for the Jackfish pitching rotation as Harford expected to go game one, of course. But you can't get behind in the counts against this Kitchener Panther lineup. Good job by Harford to be able to battle back here and now even the count at least 3-2, and more pitchers count here.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's bounced out to first base. That's Mateo Porcelato playing over there. He takes it to the bag himself for the first out here in the first inning.
Good job by Jake Harford there to be able to get just a soft contact ball right to Porcelato. It's an easy play on a couple of hops and step on the bag, but gets down to the count 3-0, and he's able to battle back and get the opening out here.
And that's got to feel good, like you just alluded to, when you do fall down early in the count, to be able to come back and get a ground ball out. Now he faces the number 2 hitter. It's Blake Jacklin. Jacklin had a magnificent season at the top of this Panthers lineup, hitting .371 on the year.
You look at the Panthers lineup and you look at where they sit in the standings, and you wonder, how do they not win so many more ball games with so many big hitters in this lineup? Jarvis, Jacklin, Wilson, Leader, and Marsden, all big bats for this lineup, but yet they only come in the 6th spot.
Harford falls behind once again as he's facing the number 2 hitter now. Now here comes the 1-0, and it's fouled straight back into the netting. And it evens the count at 1-1. Harford really has been that guy that they rely upon all season. He's started, it seems like, every home Thursday game.
Yeah, Mr. Thursday. I mean, he has a home record of 10-1. You only play 21 home games, and his record, he has a decision in all of his games, but I believe one. And that was against the Kitchener Panthers, where the Jackfish went on to win that ball game 6-3. But it's a remarkable feat to be able to pitch ever so consistently every given Thursday. You know Harford's going to be on the mound.
Harford also started game 1 of the IBL playoffs a season ago against Barrie. Will be relied upon heavily as the Jackfish try to make a deep postseason run as the ball slashed foul left side by Jacklin. And it evens the count at 2-2. So with that other game being played between Guelph and London, the winner of that game will end up as the first seed. They'll go on to play the Brantford Red Sox. The loser of that game plays the Hamilton Cardinals. 2-2 count. Harford kicks and deals. It's up high. He missed with a fastball, and it runs the count full to 3-2, and now back-to-back hitters to start the ball game into a 3-2 count.
Yeah, you could tell it's postseason baseball here at the pond as every pitch he gets a roar of the crowd or a roar from the Kitchener Panther dugout here. That ball missed up and away. It's exciting to be a part of it because every single pitch now means a lot more with a couple of claps and a couple of more boos. But he's able to get a walk, and he erupts the Kitchener Panther dugout.
Kitchener Panther dugout has been loud here when the game started. A lot of cheers right after the national anthem from them, trying to get fired up for this game. And now here comes Liam Wilson. And now this is the guy that you really need to watch out for in this Kitchener lineup. Hit .440 on the season. He also drove in 36 runs. And he's got power as well. 7 home runs for him.
Yeah, any team would love to have Liam Wilson. And Kitchener has a real star of a bat.
And he bounced the ball out to shortstop. Smybert clanks it for a second. Now underhand toss is going to be an out at second base. So that'll go down as a fielder's choice. Jacklin is retired.
Well, the Jackfish were actually really lucky to be able to make that play, as it was almost going to be, I thought, an E6, and both base runners were going to advance, as he was really struggling to pick up that baseball with Smybert, able to finally pick it up for a little bit of a quick toss to second, just in time to get Jacklin. And the throw, rather late. I'm shocked they even threw the ball, as it was nowhere close to be able to get Liam Wilson at first.
That's a big misplay, but now the ball's bounced out to third base. That's Mattingly Romanen. Goes the short way to second. Tyler Dupuis is right there to make the grab, step on the bag, and finish off the inning. Two runners get on, but they don't get past first base. There's no score as we go to the bottom half of the first. You're watching postseason Welland Jackfish baseball.
Time is now. You're ready for your next big step. Niagara College is a proven leader among Ontario colleges. Our students are prepared to succeed and drive innovation locally and around the world. Our supportive student culture and state-of-the-art learning facilities help you achieve your dream. Choose academic excellence. Choose experiential learning. Choose career success. Choose Niagara College today. Visit niagaracollege.ca/.
Radio. Don't worry, you can still listen to us. Download the Giant FM app and listen, or go to giantfm.com and click on the Listen Live player. No radio? No problem. Get the Giant FM app or listen at giantfm.com.
Booked? Sport the fish today by visiting the Welland Jackfish Tackle Box, the official merchandise shop of your Jackfish. Visit the stand on game day behind Section 107 or visit us online at shop.wellandjackfish.com. There you'll find official on-field hats, t-shirts, novelties, and so much more. Join the Fishhead Nation and shop today.
Bottom half of the first inning we go. Jackfish coming up for the first time here today as we take a look at their starting lineup. Presented by North Welland BIA. Gio Morello leads things off in center field. Justin Gideon, who was on a tear to finish off the season, bats second. He's in right. Mattingly Romanen plays third base and bats third. Sam Cocker back in the lineup. He bats fourth and does the catching. James Smybert bats fifth. He's at shortstop. Tyler Dupuis plays second. He bats sixth. Brandon Nicholson in left field hits seventh. Mateo Porcelato at first base bats eighth, and then it's the designated hitter Hogan Brown. Rounding out the order, batting ninth. And on the mound is Christian Hawk for the Kitchener Panthers. For Hawk, a 6.70 ERA on the season through 55 innings pitched. But you look at the strikeout number, 67 strikeouts in those 55 innings.
Yeah, the Jackfish have gone up against Christian Hawk, and he's been their go-to guy, their ace all season long. And this is where the Kitchener Panthers have really struggled to close out ball games, is just have dominant pitching. If they could just put 2 and 2 together for a full 9 innings, this team would be a lot better all throughout the year. They've been dealing with injuries, a lot of young guys on the mound. Christian Hawk, the Jackfish to face, he's got a nasty breaking ball as he starts the ball game with one right there.
That's right, he showed it off early on to the leadoff man, Gio Morello. Morello, 333 for him on the year, guy who gets on base a ton. 0-1 pitch from Hawk, it misses inside. Not only does he get on base a ton, he got on base every game this season.
He has had a career year, and when you talk to him, you know, in batting practice, away from the field, he is just excited to play baseball, and he's happy to be at the park. He comes from a team that struggled as of late, had put up big numbers with the Sox, but now comes here, and he just smiles ear to ear. It's a lot easier to play when you can get up in the morning and you know, like you mentioned, every game he's getting on base.
Get on base with him coming up to the plate. I mean, that's huge for this team, as it's a 2-2 count now. Hawk actually started his IBL career in Burlington. This is now his 4th season with the Kitchener Panthers. 6th IBL season as a whole. 2-2 to Morello. That's a breaking ball. And it's lifted out to left field. Going over is Jacklin, crossing into foul territory, reaching out and making the grab. Morello set down for the first out of the inning.
It's a very impressive play by Jacqueline on the run, being able to probably run quite a distance, track that ball the entire way. It's a really tough time right now to be able to track balls here at Welland Stadium as the clouds kind of make their way in, as we are talking in overcast all night long probably. No rain expected until later. But a very impressive athletic play by the left fielder for the Kitchener Panthers.
And now it's the right fielder for the Welland Jackfish standing in. It's Justin Gideon to the plate. Talked about just how hot he was at the end of the year. Finished off the season second in batting average, .382, and first in home runs with 19.
Yeah, it felt like he ran away with it at the end, as every time he came up to bat, he was a true contender to be able to put one out of the park. Able to smack his 19th on the road in our final game of the year in Hamilton in that impressive 13-5 win. But a career year again for Justin Gideon. His numbers across the board has been really good. 45 RBIs with 19 home runs.
Pitch misses outside. He's been great all year. .413, though, since he's joined the Welland Jackfish. And there was about a 4-game stretch when he first came over that he struggled a little bit, but really turned it on towards the end of the season. Here comes the 2-1 to Gideon. He gets underneath the ball, pops it into left field. Once again, that's Blake Jacqueline. Now he's underneath it, and he's got it. 2 fly ball outs to left field to start off the ball game for the Jackfish.
You look at the lineup for the Jackfish, and you see a couple of names that, kind of slot in. Mattingly Romanin, who bats next, is one of those. The third baseman tonight batting .400, though. Sam Cocker slots back in, and he comes back after an injury in the cleanup spot, so we'll keep an eye on him to see how he does. There's so many moving parts to this lineup, and then if you look at the bottom, Brandon Nicholson, who's now below .300, really in a little bit of a slump here, but a dominant player in the IBL and a guy that could turn it on at any given moment.
We were watching him in batting practice today, putting on a bit of a laser show out there. See if that'll translate into the game, as it is Mattingly Romanin, third baseman. Playing third base today, a guy with a lot of defensive versatility. He actually played catcher in the last home game of the year against the Barrie Bay Cats when Sam Cocker was out of the lineup. That's another breaking ball from Hawk, and it misses down low.
I remember the first season when it was Greg Marco and Mattingly Romanin. They kind of flipped, it seemed, every game trying to find that who was going to be the number one guy. And Romanin was versatile, could play DH, could play in the field. And now he kind of will be that backup catcher for when Cocker is hurt. We saw Greg Marco play some games. So the catcher position, the Jackfish have really added some depth by bringing in Cocker, who comes from, of course, the OCAA Durham Lords, where he really had a good career.
It's a 3-0 count to Romanin, and he's taking all the way, and it's right on the inside corner. It's now 3-1, and the common theme with all those guys, all of them very good defensively behind the plate, and that's what you look for in a catcher. Romanin also swinging the bat well as he bounces it to first base. That's Liam Wilson coming up with it. He'll take it to the bag himself, and the inning is over. Jackfish go quietly in the bottom half of the first inning. We go now to the top of the second.
Jackfish t-shirt toss presented by
Is now. You're ready for your next big step. Niagara College is a proven leader among Ontario colleges. Our students are prepared to succeed and drive innovation locally and around the world. Our supportive student culture and state-of-the-art learning facilities help you achieve your dream. Choose academic excellence. Choose experiential learning. Choose career success. Choose Niagara College today. Visit niagaracollege.ca/.
Radio. Don't worry, you can still listen to us. Download the Giant FM app and listen. Or go to giantfm.com and click on the Listen Live player. No radio? No problem. Get the Giant FM app or listen at giantfm.com.
Hooked? Sport the fish today by visiting the Welland Jackfish Tackle Box, the official merchandise shop of your Jackfish. Visit the stand on game day behind Section 107 or visit us online at shop.wellandjackfish.com. There you'll find official on-field hats, t-shirts, novelties, and so much more. Join the Fishhead Nation and shop today.
those times when "don't try this at home" applies.
I travel.
I'm on the road a lot.
Download the free Giant FM app and take us anywhere you want to listen to your hometown classics.
Can you listen whatever I want? You can't beat that.
Get it now at Giant FM.
Second inning we go now. Not much in the way of offense so far. It's funny. Really contradicting what we talked about at the top of the broadcast. Of course, it's only been one inning, but now it's Keegan Marsden coming up to the plate for Kitchener, but both pitchers coming out of the gate, they've been good.
Yeah, no doubt, and you think they would almost have to favor the Kitchener Panthers if you can control the damage the Jackfish bats can do. We know the Kitchener Panthers bats can come alive, as do the Welland Jackfish. So this could be a battle here in the opening game of the 2022 Dominico Cup playoffs if the pitchers are going to be as dominant as they were through that first inning.
Just talking about the offense, Welland averaging just over 10 runs a game this year.
It's an absurd number.
Yeah, it really is. 1-0 count to Marsden. It's right back up the middle. It goes off the glove of Harford. Smybert sliding behind the bag. He comes up with the ball, but he can't make a play at first, just keeping it on the infield. So that'll go down as an infield single for Keegan Marsden, and that is the first hit of the game for either side.
Really tough play, as that ball was just hit a little bit too hot off the bat of Keegan Marsden for Harford to be able to have that reflex ability to snag that ball, make the play at first. You could tell he was frustrated with himself, but also maybe a little bit relieved as that ball didn't hit him in a bad spot or catch him in the throwing arm. But a tough play, nevertheless, for the Jackfish to be able to make that out.
So, Stephen Whalen, you saw James Smybert sliding behind the bag there. He's really been great defensively since he's been over there at shortstop. He had a little bit of a bobble in the first inning. That play really had no chance on. Now it's hit to first, and it goes through the hole into right field. Around second is Marsden. He's on his way to third. Here comes the throw from Gideon. On the money, but just late. Sliding in safely is Marsden. He goes first to third, and the Panthers are in business early on. Runners at the corners with nobody out.
Yeah, the Jackfish just simply have to wake up and adapt here as the Kitchener Panthers come ready to play. We talked about right off the hop. Right when they pulled in off the bus, you could tell the excitement was there. Each pitch in the first inning, they were excited, engaged in the ball game. And the Jackfish here look a little bit flat as they have runners on the corners with nobody out here in the top of the second.
Steven Narabecki now the number 7 hitter, and if you're Harford, this is the part of the lineup that you really need to be able to set down, these 7, 8, 9 hitters, because you don't want to get back to the top of the lineup with runners on base, especially in a situation like this. You really want to pitch for a strikeout here, not let those runners move up. Of course, with a runner just 90 feet away at third base, any ball in play likely nets them a run.
Yeah, a good opportunity here for Kitchener to take that 1-0 lead and put a fly ball deep enough into the field and jump out ahead of the Jackfish, something the Jackfish are not used to doing at home.
It's a 2-0 offering that just grazes the inside part of the plate. Nice frame behind the plate by Sam Cocker. It's now 2-1 over at first base. Whalen, he does have 3 stolen bases this year. Wonder if this is a situation he might think about going, but probably don't want to run into outs early on in this game, especially when you have runners at the corners and nobody out. Ball's fouled away by Narabecki, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, it almost just seems like no one wants to make that first big mistake, or no one wants to push the water or test the edges a little bit here. But you're right, this is a good opportunity for Whalen to maybe take a jump here as get 2 runners in scoring position here with nobody out here in the second.
He's got a small lead over there at first, being held on by Porcelato as the ball's hit foul. Third base side. Romanen's going to give it a look, but it'll easily get onto the berm. And the count remains at 2-2. Standing on deck right now is the third baseman, Robbie Gauthier. And now you get that 2-strike count. We'll see what Harford goes with here. We know he likes to go with the high fastball a lot of the times late in counts to get strikeouts. He tried to go with it right there, but Narabecki did a great job of fouling it away. Another 2-2 from Harford. He misses way outside. A massive play early on from Sam Cocker to get out of the crouch and snag that ball with a runner on third.
That's a really good catch by Cocker to be able to kind of hone that in. Notice that pitch was going to be way outside as he tried to go with that fastball once again. That easily could have been 1-0 just on a throwing error.
3-2 pitch. It's hit up the middle. Smybert has it go off his glove, and it's into center field. One runs in to score. Going around second base is Welland. He gets to third. And on an E6, Marsden comes across the plate, and it's 1-0 Panthers.
Exactly what the Panthers ordered here is just get ahead of the Jackfish early, and now they're getting in their heads a little bit. A simple mistake from Smybert. We saw him in the first inning fumble that baseball, and Brian Esri is going to come out and have a little word with the infield to kind of wake him up a little bit, as these mistakes are going to cost you deep as we go later into this ballgame. It is only the second inning, but boy, Kitchener has looked really like the better team early in this ballgame.
Possibly a little early postseason jitters that need to get out on the side of the Welland Jackfish. I'm sure it's the same going both ways. You saw early on in the game, Hartford had a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone, and then a couple miscues defensively.
You almost wonder what Esri is saying there, but it's got to be short and sweet. Just kind of wake up a little bit here. There's nobody out. Runners on the corner again for the Kitchener Panthers, and this coming right back to the top of the order, Gauthier, and then it'll be Mahoney, followed by the top of the order. You have to be able to get outs here and kind of wake up a little bit down by one.
So still nobody out with runners at the corners. Now it's Stephen Whalen standing at third base, and it's Stephen Narabecki standing at first. He has a decent-sized lead over there with Porcelato holding him on. Swing and a miss from Gauthier, and that's the good high fastball we're used to seeing from Hartford.
Much more control, and it's kind of placed on a line, and when he's red hot, you could tell he's much quicker, takes less time between pitches, and you're right, that high fastball is definitely his go-to when he needs it in a jam.
0-1, he went right back to it, but he missed up high, and it evens the count at 1-1. So you mentioned it is the number 9 hitter, Dan Mahoney, on deck, and then it's back to the top of the lineup card. Hartford trying to get a big out right here to the number 8 hitter. It's fouled off the glove of Sam Cocker. And Hartford jumps ahead 1-2. And we haven't seen this a ton from Hartford in this game so far. That's pitching ahead of the hitters. So it's good to see him jump ahead here of Gauthier, try to set him down.
Really think he just needs, and the defense needs as a team, to be able to get out of a jam here and prove that confidence is key a little bit. They've struggled to find that early on. A couple of errors by Smybert, almost a throwing error on a wild pitch from Hartford.
And a swing and a miss from Gauthier. That is massive from Jake Hartford. Got Gauthier to go up the ladder and gets the strikeout.
Number 45,
and here comes Dan Mahoney now, but that's kind of what you're talking about with nobody out. Runners at the corners, you get that strikeout. Now there's a chance, especially with the catcher at the plate who doesn't run all that well, a ground ball, you can get out of this inning with only 1 run scored.
Yeah, you almost want to pitch for a light, kind of soft flutter ball right down the middle for you to be able, as the runner goes.
Narabecki's going, throw down, picked nicely by Dupuis, the tag, and they got him! Well, that's a defensive play that'll get them going. Good throw from Cocker, was a little bit low, and a magnificent snag from Dupuis, and a great tag to get the second out.
What a good play by Cocker to be able to notice the runner was going. He had a huge lead going to second. Not the best throw, but a better good play by Smybert to read that and make up for a couple of errors he had in the first and second inning. Huge play for the Jackfish to be able to get Narabecki going to second.
2-0 count now to Dan Mahoney, doing the catching here today, and Jet Jarvis on deck. Now just a runner at third with 2 outs. Infield can play back on the edge of the grass as Hartford gets the call on the outside corner. It's 2-1. Now even a fly ball, they get out of this inning. And if you can get out of this inning with only 1 run being scored, I think you have to take that as a win as the Jackfish defense.
Well, absolutely. When you think about it, we came in thinking this Kitchener team is going to put up numbers. These games will not finish 3-2. It's a matter of how do you control the damage and cause the other team to make the most errors. Kitchener has done a really good job of that so far early in the first 2 innings.
Here comes the 2-2 from Hartford. It got in on the hands of Mahoney, bounced out to second base. Dupuis up with it. His throw is right there. Hartford and the Jackfish get out of it. The Panthers do score 1 time as Marsden comes home on the error by the shortstop, James Smybert, and they lead it now 1-0 as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Back for the bottom of the second inning. Panthers lead this game 1-0 as it is Sam Cocker, the catcher, coming up. He's hitting fourth today. He'll lead things off in the second inning as this is imperative for the Jackfish to get this run back and tie this ball game up again.
Yeah, absolutely. The fans were right in it there for that top of the second where they're able to get the runner stealing of Narabeki. So the Jackfish, a little bit of light here and a little bit of life back into them after giving up that opening run of the ball game. Fans right back in it. This is imperative, as you said. Got to keep the momentum going. Cannot fall flat again, as this Kitchener Panther offense is too deadly and will make you pay.
First pitch of the inning is fouled away. That ball got way inside on Sam Cocker. First strike. And you kind of mentioned it, Hawk has decent velocity, not great, but when he mixes in the breaking ball so well, if you're thinking breaking ball and he comes with that fastball, you're going to be late on it. Maybe that's what happened right there with Cocker.
He has so much movement on his pitch, which is, I think...
As that was a breaking ball, and it smashed to right field, but right there is Jet Jarvis barely had to move his feet to make the catch. And that's 4 up and 4 down for Christian Hawk. But the first time we've really seen a really well-struck ball off the bat of a Jackfish hitter.
Yeah, the only good thing coming of this for the Jackfish is they are hitting Christian Hawk. It's unfortunate they are going right to the fielders, but that was a solid hit. But he does have a ton of movement on his breaking ball and curveballs that, I think you're right, it's fooling the Jackfish when he goes to that fastball because of how much that baseball is moving.
Now here is James Smybert, the shortstop. Takes a strike on the outside corner. And it's 0-1. Smybert finished off the season in 7th place in the IBL with runs batted in, with 40 to his name. Next pitch to him is fouled away. He was late. That ball came screaming into the stands, went up onto the concourse.
Yeah, not very often you see a ball, if you've ever been to Welland Stadium, go underneath the roof here and actually into the concourse, not the grandstand area, but just above the seats, which really, if you're not paying attention, holding a pond water, that could have caused a lot of damage.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people here holding pond waters today, as that's a pitch up in the zone. Smybert goes up the ladder and swings and misses. First strikeout of the game for Hawk. As Smybert's set down, here comes Tyler Dupuis.
Well, 5 up, 5 down. This Kitchener Panther pitcher of Christian Hawk is really on fire here early in this ball game as he sat down the top 5 batters for the Jackfish. But the lineup really doesn't get much easier, and this is why the Jackfish had so much success scoring runs.
And that's kind of been the MO of this Jackfish offense all season long. Kind of just hang around close in games, then they have that one big inning that kind of blows the game wide open. As we play here in the second, the Panthers lead this first game of the IBL playoffs. This pitch misses up high from Hawk, and that's another thing too. Offenses usually do go down in the playoffs because you're always seeing the other team's best pitchers. And that's what we're seeing here today with Harford and Hawk both on the mound for their respective teams. 2-0 breaking ball that misses up high, and it's 3-0. You can tell how much confidence he has in that breaking ball when he goes to it in a 2-0 count.
And not only that, he tried to go right back on that inside corner where he's had a lot of success getting the batters to swing. But a good read by Dupuis to be able to just hold off on it, let him have the 3-0, and now it's 3-1 with a fastball right back down the middle.
So 3-1. Brandon Nicholson is on deck. He's hitting in the number 7 spot today. Here comes the 3-1 to Dupuis. Swings and misses, and it's 3-2. A big swing from Dupuis. Came up empty, though.
Could tell he was waiting for that fastball, just unable to get a piece of it.
3-2 count. Hawk trying to go 1-2-3 for the second time here today. He pitches to the plate, and it's fouled back. Count stays right where it is at 3-2. And at the plate, this is a good job by Dupuis now. Hawk cruised through the first inning. He got 2 quick outs here in the second inning. Make him at least throw a couple more pitches if nothing else comes to this at-bat. Could go a long way down the stretch in this ball game. As the count remains at 3-2, here comes another full count offering from Christian Hawk. And it's fouled away once again. Dupuis putting up a good battle. Count stays right where it is at 3-2.
Well, you have to be able to battle here, and you have to be able to make Christian Hawk throw pitches. As the IBL, it's a hitter's league, no doubt. As you look at the numbers and you look at some of the ridiculous stat lines for some of these players with so many hits, the more you can get out of him, the better you're going to be able to go deeper in this ball game. So every pitch is huge.
Another 3-2 and misses outside. A walk for Tyler Dupuis, first base runner of the game for the Jackfish. That'll bring up Brandon Nicholson now, and kind of talked about he's been in a little bit of a slide offensively. Big moment here with 2 outs, now runner on base. See if he can come through big. And Dupuis at first base. No, lots of speed over there as well.
Yeah, the Jackfish with 202, a league record this year with stolen bases.
Shattering the league record.
The next closest, not even in triple digits this season. But 2 outs, you never know what the Jackfish will do.
And Dupuis going on the first pitch. Throw down, it's going to be high. He slides in head first. That's a stolen base for Tyler Dupuis. And now Nicholson at the plate can change his approach a little bit. All he needs is a base hit. Dupuis with the speed, he's going to be able to come around the bags, especially since he'll be going on the crack of the bat.
Really not a good throw from Dan Mahoney either. So if the Jackfish realize that's going to be the arm coming at them, they'll steal a lot more getting into scoring position, as that throw to second was way off the mark and not a lot of velocity.
I was going to say, let's see if they pick up on the arm from Dan Mahoney, but I think they run on anybody. I don't think it really matters who's behind the plate. As that's a called strike on the outside corner, which gets a few groans from the Jackfish faithful. Behind the plate today is Ben Mercier. It evens up the count at 1-1 as Dupuis takes his lead off of second base. Hawk for the first time today, pitching out of the stretch. 1-1, bounces in the dirt, blocked nicely behind the plate by Mahoney. As Dupuis gets back, but that was pretty aggressive out there at second base.
I was just going to say, he was almost halfway to third, and he kind of put on the brakes, slipping almost. But you're right, he is playing very far off the bag and very aggressive here with 2 outs.
Nicholson now back ahead in the count at 2-1. Again, just trying to Get a base hit here and cash that run. And big hole on the right side right now with the second baseman Marsden holding the runner close. That's a good pitch from Hawk that's right there for a strike, and it evens the count up at 2-2.
Looked like he took a little bit off that fastball, just trying to place it more down the middle and kind of play with Nicholson's head here a little bit, as that one definitely right down the middle. Not a lot of pace, though, on that pitch.
Mateo Porcelato hoping to get an opportunity here in this inning. Long hold on the mound by Hawk. Now he comes to the plate with a 2-2, and it's rifled down the right field line, but it is going to squirt foul. Good wood on that ball by Nicholson, just couldn't keep it fair. Hit it hard, but the count stays at 2-2. And if you're Nicholson, I like that approach from him. Just stay right there. Try to hit the ball the other way because, again, you have that huge hole on the right side.
Yeah, the second baseman really right on second, and there has got to be almost a full 90 feet between the two infielders here. That one was sent a mile, just missing about 10 feet right of the line.
Another 2-2. It's a breaking ball. Mahoney makes the grab, and it's 3-2. Great job by Nicholson to be able to hold off on that one, as that was a good breaking ball that started in the zone and broke off. It evens the count at 2-2. Just back to the defensive positioning a little bit. That's another thing that speed does for the Jackfish. If there's not speed out there, that second baseman doesn't need to play as close to the bag and keep him honest. But because Dupuis was taking such a big secondary lead out there, you have to be close just in case. Got to make a throw down to second. It is a full 2 count. It is to Nicholson, and the pitch, swing and a miss on the slider. Brandon Nicholson goes down, and the Jackfish are set down in the second inning. Our score is 1-0. Panthers lead it. You're watching postseason Welland Jackfish baseball.
Is now. You're ready for your next big step. Niagara College is a proven leader among Ontario colleges. Our students are prepared to succeed and drive innovation locally and around the world. Our supportive student culture and state-of-the-art learning facilities help you achieve your dream. Choose academic excellence. Choose experiential learning. Choose career success. Choose Niagara College today. Visit niagaracollege.ca/.
Radio. Don't worry, you can still listen to us. Download the Giant FM app and listen. Or go to giantfm.com and click on the Listen Live player. No radio? No problem. Get the Giant FM app or listen at giantfm.com.
Booked? Sport the fish today by visiting the Welland Jackfish Tackle Box, the official merchandise shop of your Jackfish. Visit the stand on game day behind Section 107 or visit us online at shop.wellandjackfish.com. There you'll find official on-field hats, t-shirts, novelties, and so much more. Join the Fishhead Nation and shop today.
Times when don't try this at home applies.
I travel.
I'm on the road a lot.
Download the free Giant FM app and take us anywhere you want to listen to your hometown classics.
Can you listen whenever I want? You can't beat that.
Get it now at Giant FM.
Third inning we go now. It's back to the top of the order for the Kitchener Panthers. Jet Jarvis to start things out. Then Blake Jacklin and Liam Wilson also due up in this inning. The meat of the order for the Panthers. First pitch from Harford is a strike right on the outside. First time Jarvis came to the dish, he grounded out to first base. Porcelato made the play unassisted over there at first. Harford jumping ahead quickly of Jarvis. Now another pitch. That's a high fastball, and it's roped into right field, dropping in front of Justin Gideon. Base hit for Jet Jarvis to start off the third.
Kitchener Panthers here really having a time a little bit with Jake Harford early in this ball game. Harford known for being able to get ahead of counts and really control the batters. It seems the other way around early in this ball game, as Kitchener been able to get on base a couple of times. They've scored the only run of the ball game. So we'll see if Harford can kind of change up his game plan a little bit here, settle in, and find a way to bring back the old Jake Harford a little bit.
First pitch to the number 2 hitter in Blake Jacklin is fouled back. It's 0-1. And you think back to that start he had against Kitchener. That came on July 21st in the 6-3 win for the Jackfish. He went 6 innings, only gave up 3 runs, but he did give up 9 hits in that start. So the Panthers possibly see something in him that they like, as that one's way up high. Cocker jumping out of the crouch. We've seen that a couple times now from Cocker behind the plate.
Well, that's his miss, and it's been his miss all year long. Yes. When he tries to go high, it sometimes will slip way out of the zone. Good job by Cocker to be able to grab that baseball to keep the lone base runner of Jarvis at first base.
Jarvis has 4 stolen bases on the year standing at first base. That's a strike right at the top of the zone. And it's 1-2. Jacklin didn't love the call. He walked in his first at-bat, then he was erased on a fielder's choice.
Well, that's where Hartford really has to be able to just control it here. He's got that 1-2. He's ahead of the counter. Put him away here to kind of get some momentum going and not allow him to get back into this count.
1-2 to Jacklin. It's fouled away just over the press box. 1-2 count. As now time is called, we have a shoe malfunction over at first base.
And a shoe malfunction. Let me slow that down. And as you said that very professional, Mr. Lang, but his shoe came undone. A shoe malfunction at first base.
Had to go down and change the tires for a second. Now he's back to his feet, takes his lead, and a great pitch from Jake Hartford. He went with the breaking ball to get the swing and a miss from Jacklin for the first out here in this third inning. And if Hartford can get that breaking ball over, he'll have success going forward tonight.
Oh, absolutely. 1 strikeout at a time, and it's his second tonight, but you have to be able to just get that momentum, work off each pitcher a little bit. It's a 1-run ball game. Not like it's 6-7-0 and it's out of it here. But the Jackfish got to find that little swagger and momentum that they've seemed to have here at home. And it's why it's been one of the toughest ballparks to come in and get a win for a visiting team.
And Hartford goes right back to that breaking ball and gets the strike on Wilson. Liam Wilson, possibly the best hitter in this lineup, playing in his 5th season in the IBL. He started his career with the Hamilton Cardinals, playing now in his 3rd year with the Kitchener Panthers. Now Hartford goes with the fastball and misses up high, and it's 1-1. Played his collegiate career at Canisius College.
Well, Wilson's a guy who's only struck out 5 times this year, so he does a terrific job of getting on base and battling through tough counts.
Another breaking ball, it's fouled off, and you're exactly right about that. I mean, he almost always puts the ball in play. And that's over just over 90 at-bats with those 5 strikeouts. So, I mean, possibly the best contact man in all the IBL. And you take a look at his collegiate career at Canisius College, 10th all-time in RBIs, also in the top 10 in total bases.
Yeah, his name is definitely in the gymnasium on a couple of banners, as in one of the elite athletes to ever be a Canisius. Are they Golden Griffin? Golden Griffin. We'll have to double check, but I believe that's what they are, the Canisius Golden Griffins.
Canisius College alumni Brandon Nicholson on the Jackfish. Time is called now, as there's a baseball that's gotten out on the field. We've had a couple delays here in this at-bat.
I immediately looked at the shoes of our base runner of Jet Jarvis. Well, if you're Jacklin, you might be a little upset at Jarvis as he was able to foul one away to stay in that at-bat. Time is called. All of a sudden, the momentum's gone, and he strikes out. We'll see if that affects any one of them as the shoe malfunction. You don't get that often in the IBL.
Here comes the 2-2 to Wilson. That's a breaking ball. Bounced out to third base. Romanin up with it on a hop. High throw over the head of Porcelato. Safely at first base is Wilson, and now a run's going to be waved around third. Here comes the throw from Porcelato. Scoring, standing up, is Jet Jarvis, and a throwing error from Mattingly Romanin gives the Panthers a 2-0 lead.
Something that simply can't happen is that ball is thrown way over the head of the Jackfish first baseman of Porcelato, and that causes a lot of controversy and chaos for the Jackfish defense. It was a good throw-in, but unfortunately it was just too late to be able to get the base runner coming all the way from first of Jacklin to score to make a 2-0 lead now for the visitors from the 5-1-9.
I like the touch with the area code. But something that we really haven't seen at all this year is struggling defense from the Jackfish, and that's been kind of the theme early on in this game. Hartford has given up a few base runners, but there's 3 plays that you really think of. There could have been a double play that Smybert had some trouble with. He also had the error, and now you see the throw from Romanen as his first pitch breaking ball in the dirt to Andy Leader, the center fielder today for the Panthers. And I'm surprised, after that error, coming all the way around to score was Jarvis, that Wilson's still standing at first base.
Well, he looked as if he was going to go to second, and he kind of held up and he kind of hemmed and hawed with it and never, ever made that official decision. Yes, I'm going to go to at least second. But I think everyone was amazed at how far Jarvis was able to go all the way from first around home to score on a throwing error that really wasn't that deep in the outfield.
And this Panthers team, not a ton of speed on their roster with only 25 stolen bases this season. We were talking about that, but Jarvis is one of the guys who does have speed as he hits at the top of the lineup for Kitchener. This is a 2-1 pitch from Hartford, and it's popped up to right field. Now coming in hard is Gideon. Still on the run. He dives, and it's off his glove. That'll fall into right field for a base hit. Wilson goes up to second base. Andy Leader on at first. And there's only one out. Now here comes Brian Esser to have a conversation with Jake Hartford.
Well, you'd almost think you get someone warming up in the bullpen now just to change things up a little bit here or make a defensive substitution. Something has to give as they have another mound visit. This is probably the 3rd mound visit of the game, if not more, for the Jackfish, as you want Hartford to go the distance or go a long ways in this ball game, as he's a guy normally known to go 6-7 innings minimum for Brian Essery. But again, Brian Essery will come out here and just kind of say, what is going on? As this is not the team we were for 42 straight games here in the regular season.
Just trying to calm his group down a little bit. Now, that was a tough play for Gideon out there in right field, and he had a long way to go to come get that ball. I don't think he read it extremely well off the bat, and we've seen that especially in right field here at the pond. At this time of night with that dusk sky, sometimes you do see the right fielders having trouble with it. I think that did happen, where he had a little bit of an issue picking up the baseball off the bat.
Esri here doing a good job, I think, just trying to buy a little more time, walking as close as he can with Ben Mercier, the home plate umpire, all the way behind home plate. Just earn a few more seconds for the Jackfish defense here as the wind picking up, and I thought I saw lightning actually way off in the distance above right field. So we'll keep our eye on that as the wind starts to pick up here a little bit in Welland.
That's right. Really not much wind today. When we were down on the field, we were talking how the ball wasn't carrying too much, but you're right, definitely picking up now. We got some papers flying around up here. 0-1 count. It is Marsden at the plate. Number 5 hitter for the Panthers. 2 runners on with 1 out, and that's a breaking ball right at the knees. A perfect spot for Jake Hartford. Exactly where you want to live with the breaking stuff. And he's ahead of Marsden now with Stephen Whalen, the shortstop, on deck. Another left-handed hitter that he'll have to deal with. Runner standing at second base is Wilson, and then standing at first base, it's Andy Leader. The pitch inside on Marsden, and he fouls it off. Once again coming in hot out there.
Good on the Kitchener Panthers here, though, really being able to get the bat on the ball against Jake Hartford early in this game and really throw off the way Hartford has kind of thought about pitching and controlling this game. He's been really dominant for the Jackfish on the mound, not used to being down 2-0 here early in this game.
Breaking ball served into left field. Brandon Nicholson on the run just in front of the track. He hauls it in. For the second out of the inning, Marsden is retired. On the fly out to left field. And now here comes Stephen Whalen. And once again, if you're Hartford on the mound, if you can just minimize that to 1 run, that's big going forward because the Jackfish offense can strike.
Yeah, you have to be able to get the out here and leave and strand 2 base runners for this Kitchener Panthers offense. Can't let them blow it up early in this game. As you're right, the Jackfish offense, the bats can explode at any given moment. We've seen that so many times. The Jackfish have been, seems down and out of games, been able to claw back, and they probably won 4 or 5 games with 1 inning of work.
The one that sticks out was that early season matchup against London, where Matt Hildebrand had a big hit to win
Down
the
by
ball
6
game.
going into the ninth.
That's right. Now Whalen cracks a ball to center field. Morello taking a few steps in. Now he's underneath it, and he has the ball for the third out of the inning. Once again, the Panthers get some runners on, but only get one across the plate. They lead it now 2-0 as we go to the bottom half of the third inning.
Number 10, Mateo Porcelado.
Number 8 hitter Mateo Porcelado gets things started in the third inning for the Jackfish, and 2-0 our score. Panthers lead it. A little bit of shaky defense early on from the Jackfish, but their offense can make up for all of that. It'll be 8-9-1 due up in this third inning, and now getting into through the batting order a second time here coming up. See if they can figure out Hawk a little bit. They haven't had a hit yet.
Yeah, you almost get that little antsy feeling like who's going to make the first hit, who's going to be that guy that, cracks open the bottle. Who's going to be that guy for the Jackfish? And it could be right here in this third inning. Panthers doing a really good job of forcing the Jackfish into an uncomfortable spot down by 2 early at home against a really tough lineup the Panthers bring.
Porcelado takes the first pitch from Hawk. It's 0-1. Hogan Brown and then Gio Morello in this inning. Pitch misses outside. It was the breaking ball, but he didn't get on top of it, and it's 2-2 now. Or 1-1, excuse me.
The more pitches they can get Hawk to throw, the better it's going to be, regardless if they get on base. You have to be able to extend his arm each inning. Throw a lot of pitches. And then you think the bats might come alive.
And it's blooped over the third baseman in Gautier's head. Porcelado, he gets on first base. First hit of the game for the Jackfish. Wasn't the hardest hit ball you'll ever see, but it works. It landed in the right spot.
No, it's the old tale of the scorecard doesn't show how the hits happen. As long as you get it done. It's like me playing hockey. I was no all-star by any means, the House League all-star. If you put up a goal, hey, it doesn't matter. It's on the board as a goal. No room for a story on the scorecard. The Jackfish will take that, and it starts the ball rolling a little bit here. A little momentum now for the boys in white.
That's right. That's what they say in baseball. On the stat sheet the next day, that's a line drive to center field. Now it's the number 9 hitter, Hogan Brown. DH did. He squares around a bunt and pulls it back. Good job to pull that bat back, take the ball, and it's 1-0. You saw Gauthier charging in hard. I wonder if that's just to draw that third baseman in, see if you can slash a ball by him, or do they really want to try and bunt him over early on in this game with their offense, sputtering a little bit against Hawk?
You didn't see the Jackfish bunt very often as their base runners were able to just steal second, and not many guys in this lineup don't steal, as that'll get away, and Porcelado is going to get a free base.
So a passed ball. The question with a runner at second base. And nobody out now with a 2-0 count to Hogan Brown. Now, if you're the Jackfish, you really need to get at least a run here, possibly more.
Yeah, I think it definitely takes the bunt away. This is the green light to swing away here a little bit now with a runner in scoring position. Get a little momentum with that runner in scoring position. And Hawk at the moment, just really uncomfortable, it seems, after giving up that hit. It's almost as if he's in his own head a little bit with a runner behind him and a 3-0 count now.
Yes, he's lost the zone a little bit here. Defense playing straight up against Hogan Brown, left-handed hitter. A lot of lefties in this Jackfish lineup, as well as the pitch misses down low. It gets away once again from Mahoney, and Porcelato's going to move into third.
And this is where we talked about before the game. Kitchener has such a good offensive lineup, but they struggle to seal wins. They come in, play so well in the first couple of innings, and now this third inning looks completely different team. It's completely different team defensively than what they were in the first couple of innings. Couple of errors here allow the Jackfish to get 2 runners on with nobody out, back to the top of the order.
And on the other side, the Panthers were able to capitalize on the Jackfish defensive miscues. Now Welland's going to have to do the same thing. Pass ball, wild pitch. Hogan Brown stands at first base after the walk, and then it's Mateo Porcelato standing at third base. He's running, and Morello drops a bunt down the third base line. Gautier's going to pick it up. He doesn't have a play. Porcelato comes in to score from third, and the Jackfish are on the board. It's 2-1 Kitchener.
Well, hey, now that's a bunt. That is absolutely perfection by the Welland Jackfish. Textbook baseball. Bunt that right down the third base line. It allows the third base runner of Mateo Porcelato to sneak in home. Not even a throw over to first from the third baseman of Stephen Whalen. So a fantastic play by the Jackfish here, exploding some offense now to make it a 2-1 game.
Now it's Justin Gideon, and he's known to explode some offense, and he squares around a bunt as well, but he pulls it back. The pitch is inside. It's 1-0, and it's funny. We talk all about this offense in the pregame at the start of the broadcast, and they bring home their first run with a bunt.
Again, sometimes you got to adapt and take what you can get. And the Jackfish, when you're really not going well in the first couple of innings, take them how you can get them. Pass balls, bunt, whatever it'll take to get aboard.
Gideon squares again, and he pulls it back.
And Gideon, a guy who's just hit his league-leading 19th home run, showing bunt at the top of the order, something you don't often expect to see. Normally, hitters dream 2 runners on with nobody out. Not normally going to bunt here.
In the playoffs, things do change. You do see more small ball in the playoffs, but still not expected to see that with your 2-hole hitter and 2 runners on base, especially a guy who led the league in home runs, like you just mentioned. He shortened up on the bat there for a second, but then he pulled it back and swung and missed at a high fastball.
Yeah, it's almost as if he's in his own head a little bit, and the signs are maybe getting a little mixed up, worrying too much about what we're going to do here. As you're right. Looked as if he was going to bunt, and then said, oh, last minute, I'm going to try to swing.
2-1 count now as they have a pickoff play at second. Back easily is Hogan Brown. That's the second baseman, Marsden, coming in behind the runner.
Marsden maybe just playing a little bit too far off the bag as he was able to slide in there with a little more time than it may have looked like. But they really are keeping the runners honest here in a 2-1 ball game.
Morello at first, Brown on at second. Once again, a look. Now another look, and delivers to Gideon. It's down the line, foul! Gideon is very upset, shouting as he goes down the line. At first base umpire Ryan Herron, and Brian Essery's out of the dugout.
Well, Gideon very upset, and it looked, for me personally, looked as if it was fair right away, and I thought, I was shocked it wasn't called earlier. When he let it play on, go right past the bag, it looked as if it went over the bag. So they're going to have a conversation here. And this is almost, do you think this works against the Jackfish now as the momentum's picking up, and now this little delay here could easily work in favor of either team?
Well, it won't be much of a delay as Esri didn't have too much of a conversation.
I don't even know if he said a word. It's like he just walked out, had a little nod, and that's it. But the clear frustration from Gideon, he thought for sure that ball was fair, too close to tell, as we'll hopefully next year maybe bring you a base cam. We'll put that in the budget, a base cam.
It's a 2-2 count right now on Gideon. And the 2-2 pitch outside, called a ball, just missed off the outside corner. And it's 3-2.
Well, you think if that was called a strike, Gideon may turn around and really blow his top a little bit here as he is hot back in that batter's box now with a 3-2 count. Boy, he must want to drive one out of the park and really lift the roof off this place.
Comes the 3-2 pitch. Runner moving to third. It won't matter. Gideon walks. Pushes all the runners up 90 feet, and with nobody out, the bases are loaded, and it's Mattingly Romanen coming to the plate. Romanen grounded out to first base.
Well, Romanen comes in batting .400 with 12 RBIs. You look deeper, Sam Cocker, 348, 38 RBIs. And how about Smiber with 40 RBI here?
The best part of their order for driving in runs coming up right now as Romanen steps into the box and takes a breaking ball at the top of the zone. That's strike one. It's 0-1. Around the bags right now is Hogan Brown taking his lead at third base. Gio Morello at second and Justin Gideon at first base. And another thing, lots of speed all around the bases right now for Welland. Romanen trying to come through in a big way. The pitch is fouled off into the netting, and he falls behind 0-2. Hawk doing a great job right there. The bases loaded, nobody out, jumping ahead of the number 3 hitter, 0-2.
On the field, they are set for perfection. If you can hear that one voice off the field, that is Coach Adam, as they call him, trying to fire up probably about 1,200 fans in attendance here to witness Game 1. Boy, it's loud now with the bases loaded. Is loaded.
An 0-2 pitch from Hawk, fouled away once again. Romanen staying alive. Count stays right where it is at 0-2, and you're right. The crowd's really filtered in, and it's really ended up being a very good-sized crowd and a very loud crowd trying to get the Jackfish back into this game. They've cut the lead in half here. Panthers still lead it, though, 2-1. But the bases are loaded with nobody out. Hawk has a long look to the plate, shakes off Mahoney a couple times. Now he's got the pitch he wants as he comes set. Here comes another 0-2, and it's fouled away once again. Romanen continuing to put together a very good at-bat.
Really thought that would be the pitch after such a long decision and kind of conference there on the mound to the catcher. Maybe throw an off-speed breaking ball, something, as he's thrown about 4 or 5 straight fastballs now that have been all fouled away. The count's still 0-2 with the bases loaded here.
Still an 0-2 count right now for Mattingly Romanen. Hawk trying to punch him out. Another 0-2 pitch. It's back up the middle. Caught on a line. Flipped to second for 2. And that's exactly what you're trying to avoid. The ball was hit hard to the shortstop, Welland. An easy flip to second to get Morello. And there's 2 outs now with runners at the corners.
Well, good defense by Kitchener as they'll take away a lot of momentum now for the Jackfish with that nice double play. Morello caught too far off the bag as that ball was hit perfectly to Welland, the shortstop for the Kitchener Panthers. And now 2-out situation, runners on the corners.
Now Cocker's got to come up with a big 2-out hit as before a pitch is thrown to him. They want to check on the runner at first base in Justin Gideon. But a massive 2 outs for Hawk on the mound. And a tough play for Morello out there. It seemed like everybody thought that ball was going to get through off the bat. Next pitch from Hawk is just outside. It's 1-0. Now, of course, you're taught on a line drive, freeze, maybe even start back towards the bag that you're at. But it seemed like everyone took a step in the wrong direction that time, thinking it was going to get through.
Oh, Morello definitely in no man's land. No chance to be able to get back on that tag.
Another check over there at first base. They seem to be a little bit concerned with Gideon over there. Gideon did have 14 stolen bases on the year. That put him 9th in the Intercounty Baseball League. But he only had 6 stolen bases with the Cardinals, 8 since he's come over to the Jackfish, and he's running. That's a breaking ball. Mahoney throws down. Here comes a run for the plate. Brown comes across the dish. The Jackfish steal a run, and the game is tied at 2.
That is heads-up base running by the Welland Jackfish. As you take the risk, send Gideon over to second, and that'll be able to basically steal a run, as you said. It's exactly what they did. Misdirection like a magician there, the double steal. And you'll take him. If you're not getting the at-bats you'd like, steal as much as you can. Kitchener only comes in with 25 stolen bases. The Jackfish 8 times that amount. So it's a really tough task for the Kitchener Panthers at hand.
Breaking ball outside, and it's 2-1. Not only 8 times that amount, the Jackfish have 4 players on their team that have more stolen bases than the entire Kitchener Panthers roster.
You know, some say banana ball. The Savannah Bananas is crazy. This is wild. Come to the pond.
Dupuis, Porchelato, Morello, and Nicholson, all with more than 25 stolen bases. Ball hit hard up the middle. That's Marsden right there. His throw is in time. Cocker is retired to end the inning, but the Jackfish do score twice, and they tie this ball game up. As we go to the 4th inning, you're watching postseason Jackfish baseball.
Is now. You're ready for your next big step. Niagara College is a proven leader among Ontario colleges. Our students are prepared to succeed and drive innovation locally and around the world. Our supportive student culture and state-of-the-art learning facilities help you achieve your dream. Choose academic excellence. Choose experiential learning. Choose career success. Choose Niagara College today. Visit niagaracollege.ca/.
Radio. Don't worry, you can still listen to us. Download the Giant FM app and listen, or go to giantfm.com and click on the Listen Live player. No radio? No problem. Get the Giant FM app or listen at giantfm.com.
Hooked? Sport the fish today by visiting the Welland Jackfish Tackle Box, the official merchandise shop of your Jackfish. Visit the stand on game day behind Section 107 or visit us online at shop.wellandjackfish.com. There you'll find official on-field hats, t-shirts, novelties, and so much more. Join the Fishhead Nation and shop today.
Times when don't try this at home applies.
I travel.
I'm on the road a lot.
Download the free Giant FM app and take us anywhere you want to listen to your hometown classics.
Can listen whenever I want. You can't beat that.
Get it now at Giant FM.
4th inning we go now, and the Panthers sending up their 7, 8, 9 hitters. 2-2 ball game. Jackfish coming back to tie this game up, and going into the postseason, this is kind of what you expect. It's going to be close baseball throughout.
It's exactly what you want. You want to be under. Parity in this league is amazing because we talk about how the Jackfish steal bases and how their offense is and how well Kitchener bats the ball and how well they've been offensively at the plate. But yet you see 6-3. The really records don't show how close these two teams are. But when they come together and play in a 5-game series, anything can happen. Is sometimes maybe Kitchener likes playing against Welland. They're a lot better when they play Welland, or they like playing against Toronto. It's amazing to see the parity in this league when you pair up teams like this.
0-1 from Harford as he's back out on the mound for his 4th inning, and it's a 1-1 count now to Narabecki, Gauthier, and then Dan Mahoney in this inning. Narabecki awaiting a 1-1 pitch from Harford. He swings and misses for the second strike. First time he came up to the plate, he reached on that error by the shortstop, Smybert.
Has to feel good for Harford here to get batters to swing through his fastball. As it's really not been dominant so far in this game as he gets another one.
That's a big punch out for Harford as he goes with the high fastball to get Narabecki. So the first out of this fourth inning goes down with a strikeout. And now here comes Robbie Gauthier, the third baseman today. His first time up, he struck out. Now,
yeah,
Harford,
he got it going. That was his first strikeout of the ball game. Has strikeouts against Gauthier, Jacqueline, and now Nara Becky. Third of the game for Harford. And really, what a game we has seen. Harford's probably not best performance to start a ball game.
He's had a couple defensive miscues behind him as well, but Kitchener has put the ball in play as that's fouled away. And it's 0-2, but I mean, that's kind of the name of the game with this Kitchener team. They're going to put the ball in play.
Oh, no doubt, and that's why it makes it so exciting for this first round, as it may be a 3-6 series, but I see it a lot closer than that, as both of these teams have really hot bats coming into this game.
Pitch misses up high. Now it's 1-2. We'll take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Fourth inning, Guelph leads it 2-0 over the London Majors. That is the game that will decide who takes the top spot in the IBL standings for the regular season, but we're playing in the postseason here. A swing and a miss from Gauthier. Second time today, he's down on strikes. Fourth strikeout of the game for Harford, and there's 2 gone.
Good work here for number 55 for the Jackfish, Jake Harford. Not really using a lot of pitches either, only 4 or 5 pitches each strikeout. Take another K here and get out of this top of the fourth inning, 2-2. That's a huge success for the Jackfish after a shaky start against the Panthers.
Number 9 hitter and Dan Mahoney at the plate, and he takes a ball on a fastball. 1-0. Harford would love to get out of this inning 1-2-3 and not have to see the top of the lineup come up here in the fourth. Right on right matchup. Harford delivers a fastball. It's bounced out to second base, and it's off the glove of Dupuis. He picks it up, throws it in time. Great recovery out there by Tyler Dupuis to get the third out of the inning. Mark that 4-3 on the putout. And the Panthers are retired in 1-2-3 fashion. Now we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. This game is all knotted up at 2.
That race. Ryan's got his contestants. He enters the field. Ryan, this gentleman is pumped. Who you got tonight?
All right, we got John and Jesse here for the empty bellies dizzy bat race. Here's how this works. When I say go, it's head to bat, back to floor, spin around until I say stop, which at that point you're going to try to hit the ball off the tee. First person to do so wins $25 to empty bellies. Try not to hit the cap.
James Smybert, the shortstop, coming up. 5, 6, 7 due up here in this fourth inning. We're all tied at 2, and you got to like what the Jackfish did in that last inning on offense. Not necessarily hitting the ball like they did during the year. Of course, we're just very early on in this game in the fourth inning, but I like that they pushed the envelope on the bases. A few bunts, stole a run, doing whatever they needed to do to get back in this game.
I think just exactly what you said. Push the envelope here. Really test this Kitchener team and test themselves. You're not often down at home 2-0 with your ace on the mound. And really, Christian Hawk has done a tremendous job for Kitchener. You have to find a way to break through. Try a different key if the key's not working at the door.
Smybert now behind in the count 0-1 as he had a quick word with home plate umpire Ben Mercier. Thought that pitch may have been outside. Smybert struck out his last time up, and he takes a pitch. That one was outside. And it evens the count at 1-1. Dupuis and Nicholson also due up in this inning. Jackfish trying to break this thing open, see if they can take a lead. That's a breaking ball that misses outside. Hawk was trying to bring it back over the outside, but he didn't get it there, and now it's 2-1.
Yeah, that breaking ball, compared to the first inning, really isn't moving as much as it was in the first inning. That one would have came way across the plate as he goes back with some heat.
So he gets the swing and a miss from Smybert, and Smybert was definitely late on that. Again, may have been looking for that off-speed pitch, and he has enough fastball to get it by you if you're not expecting it. And now it's a 2-2 count on the Jackfish shortstop. Hawk comes set, now rocks and fires a pitch. It's back up the middle. That's Welland gloving it. His throw on the run, dug out at first base by Liam Wilson. Good defensive play on both ends for the first out here in the fourth.
Oh, really good effort on the run from Welland, and a better scoop from the first baseman, Liam Wilson, as I thought that was going to bounce too far in front of the mitt of Liam Wilson, but he's able to dig that right up and extend out without keeping his foot on the bag. He did a really terrific job at first. Good job from the defense on that 6-3 put out.
So one out, here comes Tyler Dupuis, who walked his first time up, and he takes a strike on the outside. He didn't love the call either. But he's behind 0-1 now. Oh, one pitch is in the dirt, blocked behind the plate by Mahoney, and it evens the count up at 1-1. Dupuis coming into play with a .342 batting average. He did miss a big chunk of the season with an injury. Next pitch to Dupuis, fouled straight back. Caught somebody back there. Not sure if it was the umpire or the catcher. Seems like it was Mahoney behind the plate.
Yeah, Mahoney quickly looking at his mask because that one went right square off the screws. He seems to be okay, and good job Christian Hawk coming in to have a word with his catcher, Dan Mahoney. Seems to be okay. Quickly check the mask, put it back on, shake the head a little bit. It's like as a lacrosse goalie myself, you take one in the face, hurts for about a second, and then you're right back into the game.
Dupuis behind the count, 1-2. Hawk offers, and it's fouled away as that ball came screaming into the dugout.
Well, now, as a lacrosse goalie, sometimes you thank your post. This time, they'll thank the dugout itself, as they see them now batting the actual dugout. That one, a couple of millimeters over their hats and sunglasses. That could have been really scary for a Kitchener Panther, as that one whistled right over their head.
Dupuis hit that ball hard over there. Like you said, could have been a dangerous situation, but just missed up at the top of the dugout. Another pitch from Hawk. It's fouled away once again. Dupuis hanging in there. That's when you're down there at the dugout and you say, hit it out to the field.
Well, that
Keep
one
it
right
away
off
from here.
Mahoney's head again.
Man.
So 2 times Mahoney has been hit in the head.
And one
The
that he
last
shot
pitch,
over at the dugout.
I was going to say, the last pitch went at the dugout, so look out. Even I'm putting my hard hat on here.
1-2 to Dupuis is down low. It evens the count at 2-2. We got to be ready up here to make a play as well.
We have had a ball come in here one time this year.
Yep.
So 2 balls have made their way into the press box in the last 2 seasons.
Dupuis trying to put a ball in play here. 2-2 pitch. He does, and it's hit hard out to third base. Gauthier bobbles it. Throw across the diamond. It's in time. Bounces over there once again. Wilson able to come up with it for the second out.
Well, the speed of the Jackfish making that look a lot closer than it may be, as Dupuis nearly beats out that toss. But great job once again for Wilson at first to be able to make that tough play as that ball bounced. And it was dropped by the third baseman of Robbie Gauthier. Gauthier, a bullet across the diamond just in the nick of time as it's held on to by Liam Wilson for out number 2.
So 2 quick outs here for Hawk as he pitches in the 4th inning, and the first pitch to Nicholson is outside. 1-0 count. And that's a great job by Gauthier over there at third base, with Dupuis going up the line. you don't have much time to make a play with the speed that he possesses, but he bobbled it and was still able to make a good throw as the ball's fouled away by Nicholson, evens the count at 1-1. Now, it's still bounced across the diamond, but if you're playing first base, that's the kind of hop you want. You want that long hop that just comes right up to your chest, so Wilson was able to make an easy play out of it. But you see down at third base, Gochi has to play pretty close in, playing at the grass line as the pitch is fouled straight back off the netting. And it's 1-2, but that's another thing that the speed does, is it brings that third baseman, and you saw Porcelado was able to fight a ball off over his head. That could possibly happen again.
It just changes the complexity of the game, and it makes defense think a lot more than they may have to at times. But now with 2 outs, and they're only a strike away from getting out of this half inning.
It is a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch from Hawk. It's fouled away. Count stays right where it is at 1-2. And if anything, the Jackfish are making him throw a few more pitches in this inning. Go back to last inning, they scored the 2 runs, had a few base runners on. They had the bases loaded at one point, so really making him work now a little bit here in the 4th.
Yeah, a lot of positives coming from this inning, as they have probably gone through 15 baseballs from foul balls. But you're right, so many more pitches now coming from Hawk.
Another foul ball. That was grounded down the third base side, just wide of the bag. Keeps the count right where it is. If Nicholson can get on base, Mateo Porcelado, the number 8 hitter, will come up to the plate, and just speaks to the depth of this lineup. You have Nicholson batting 7th, Porcelado hitting 8th. 2 outs, 1-2 pitch to Nicholson. Fastball painted on the outside corner. Nicholson down on strikes for the second time here today. That time he goes down looking. 1-2-3, go the Jackfish, and it's still 2-2. We go to the 5th inning.
Cam and Jackson. Cam's feeling better. Here we go, line up behind Ryan Harrison.
All right, fans and kids are ready. Cheer one on your work, get set, go! They're off. You haven't done this in a while. All right, make some noise. Here we go.
Don't forget, you can run the bases just like your Welland Jackfish. Each and every home game here at the Prom. $50-50 update. I'll work that take home tonight. $575. Get your 50-50 tickets before the end of the 7th inning. 50-50 tickets on sale now. That jackpot continues to rise. Leading off the 5th inning for Kitchener.
5th inning we go now. The Kitchener Panthers coming up to the dish. Game tied at 2. It's been tightly contested throughout, and it's back to the top of the lineup for the Panthers in this 5th inning. Jet Jarvis to the plate. He had a base hit to right field his last time up, and he ended up coming around to score. That came back in the 2nd inning, or the 3rd inning, excuse me.
A little delay here to start the inning as the Jackfish ball boy snagging a couple balls that looked like we're in the Kitchener Panthers dugout, one that whistled off the top of the dugout last inning. So the balls have been returned and we're set to go here at the pond.
And Harford misses away to Jet Jarvis. He falls behind 1-0. Jarvis, Jacklin, and Wilson in this 5th inning. Next pitch from Harford just outside. Looked like it may have caught the corner from up here, but down on the field, called a ball.
Well, Mercier's been really tight on the strike zone this game. Home plate umpire Ben Mercier, of course, as he's been here quite a few times, the local who's been in the league a long time.
Jarvis bangs a ball right back where it came from. So he's on with his 2nd hit of the game. He's now 2 for 3. 2 hard hit singles. And here comes Blake Jacklin to the plate now. Left-handed hitter against the right-handed pitching Harford. And at the top of the lineup, this is exactly what Jacklin does. He gets on base that's what Jarvis does. Gets on base for the Jacklin, Wilson, and leader part of the order.
Yeah, he did his job, and that's the second one that kind of screamed right past the Jackfish arm of Jake Harford. No play, though, as that one was right at his feet. There was no way he was going to be able to make that play.
Jacklin squared around a bunt, but he pulled it back. Now we see maybe a little bit of small ball coming from the side of the Kitchener Panthers. We saw that when the Jackfish got their 2 runs in the 3rd inning from them. But again, this is the number 2 hitter. We saw Gideon squaring around as well. Guys at the top of the lineup squaring. Not squaring this time, and it's outside, and he's fallen behind 2-0.
Been a little bit of a control issue for Harford again. Not often known for falling behind 2-0 in counts, but this is at least the 5th or 6th batter he's done that, falling behind 2-0. The last at bat, Jarvis made him pay with a screamer right back up the middle at him.
Harford came into the inning with 66 pitches. Now this ball's hit hard up the middle, and that's going to get into center field. Back-to-back base hits to start off the 5th inning for the Panthers. And with nobody out and 2 runners on, here comes Liam Wilson.
Now you really have to be careful where you throw these balls, as Liam Wilson, batting .440, comes into the ball game as arguably one of the best hitters in the IBL this season. But you mentioned it. It's perfect setup here for Kitchener. 2 runners on, nobody out in a 2-2 ball game. Both balls right back up at Jake Harford, unable to make the play on either of them.
And now we see a little bit of stirring out there in the Jackfish bullpen, but nobody throwing yet. Excuse me, as now Cocker went out to talk to Harford. He's coming back behind the plate. Everybody, of course, available in the Jackfish bullpen, and that's really been a strength of them all season long.
Oh, no doubt. There's a lot of versatile players who used to be starters. Chris Bowato, for example, Casey Howard have also started ball games. They're coming out of the pen now. You have Davey Mendez, a big arm that'll close you out some ball games.
Yeah, he helps at the back. In the back end.
He definitely helps. Yeah, speaking to him in the reel and just learning more about him, we asked him his favorite pitch. Obviously, the fastball, one of the best in the IBL.
So a first pitch breaking ball from Harford, and that runs inside and gets Wilson. Hit by pitch. He's on base. That pushes everybody up a base. And the Panthers have loaded him up with nobody out. And I'm sure that will get the Jackfish bullpen moving, and it will. It looks like Chris Bowato, the first man up.
Well, the only good thing, I guess, is Liam Wilson is not now at the plate with 2 runners on, except he's on the bases now with a Andy Leader coming up with the bases loaded. So it's not really the ideal situation, but I think you'd rather Leader over Liam Wilson, who can really smack a ball.
Still not an easy out, though. I mean, Leader had a great year as well. 362 coming into play today. Leader has grounded into a fielder's choice, and he's got a single in this game. Quick now mound visit from Ricky Piliteri coming out of the dugout, and Harford's got to work out of another jam. He's been in a few here today, and he's done well so far. when he's gotten in these jams. But this is going to be the biggest one he's going to have to get out of so far. Bases loaded and nobody out with the number 4 hitter, Andy Leader, standing at the dish. First pitch to Leader is a fastball, and it's popped up on the infield. Porcelato in foul territory. He's got it, and a massive out of Andy Leader. 1 gone in the 5th inning.
Oh, pitcher perfect out for the Jackfish here. A pop fly that doesn't make it halfway to first base. Easy play for Porcelato, kind of camping right underneath it, and that'll keep every base runner where they are. And now a double play gets you out of this jam.
In that kind of situation, bases loaded, nobody out, you need a strikeout or a pop-up on the infield, and he got the latter. Pop-up in foul territory. Porcelato made the squeeze, and now he jumps ahead of Marsden, number 5 hitter and second baseman for the Panthers. It's 0-1.
Well, key now is get ahead of Keegan Marsden, get ahead of him in the count. That's a good job to get him to foul one away and get up 0-1. But you're right, get the first out, that's done. Now you got to be able to handle Marsden and then Welland.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Cocker with a big block behind the dish. And he's shaken up a little bit behind the plate.
Oh, I think that hit him in a really bad spot. He's having a good chuckle with the boys in the dugout, but you can see it smile and try to shake that one off, as that one may have bounced right underneath the cup.
Cocker, usually when you see him, he's got a big smile on his face pretty much every time you're down on the field. This is no different. Seems like he's regrouped now and back in the crouch.
He's okay. He's okay. We'll go with that.
1-1 count on Marsden. And the offering from Hartford. It's inside. It's off the glove of Cocker. Here comes Jarvis from third. And he's in, standing up. On the wild pitch from Jake Hartford, the Panthers have regained the lead.
Yeah, just a poor pitch from Hartford in the dirt. No chance for Sam Cocker to be able to keep that in front of him. It didn't help that he just took a ball the last pitch. And unfortunately, it looked as if he was having trouble picking it up, as Hartford was there to try to make the tag, but he just wasn't able to pick up that ball in time. All of a sudden, 3-2, and still 2 runners in scoring position for the Panthers.
And with only 1 out, the infield's going to have to come in now as they play on the edge of the grass. Marsden fouls it straight back. And it evens up the count at 2-2. And if you're Marsden right now, you're just thinking you got to get a ball in the air.
Yeah, a sacrifice fly for sure is going to do good here for the Kitchener Panthers to make it a 4-2 lead and regain that 2-run lead they once had, up 2-0. Now the double play pretty much out of the question. The Jackfish have to be able to get a strikeout here.
Big pitch coming up from Jake Hartford. Here comes the 2-2 to Marsden. It's outside, high as well. And it fills up the count at 3-2. And now another mound visit. Cocker's going to go out and have a chat with Hartford, likely just talking about what pitch they want to go with here.
Something you don't often see from the Jackfish this season is a lot of mound visits. This is almost uncharacteristic for the team to take so much time and really kind of settle down as much. They're more kind of a run-and-gun style team, as they really have done good this season with 32 wins on the year. They've really, 31 wins on the year, not 32.
The 3-2 from Hartford. It's popped up on the infield once again. Tyler Dupuis now moving towards the second base bag. He's underneath it, squeezes it for the second out of the inning. Hartford getting 2 big pop-ups on the infield. Now with 2 outs, the infield can move back, as here comes Stephen Whalen.
You take away that one pitch, really, that causes the run. This is textbook how to play bases loaded defense. You get two pop balls straight up in the infield. You want that pitch back, of course, as that was able to score the 3rd run of the ball game as Jet Jarvis came in from 3rd.
So the shortstop Whalen at the dish, fouling one away. And it almost seems like, yeah, he had that wild pitch that allowed the go-ahead run to score, but it almost seems like once he loaded up the bases in Hartford, really started to attack the zone a little bit more, really came after this Panthers lineup, and he's gotten the 2 pop-ups. But still trails in this game by 1 run. 3-2 lead for the Panthers. Here comes the 0-1 to Welland, and it's flared out to left field. Oncoming Nicholson towards the line. He's got it. Harford works out of a bases-loaded jam, only giving up one run. The Panthers do, however, regain the lead. It's now 3-2 as we go to the bottom half of the fifth. You're watching postseason baseball for the Welland Jackfish.
I'll tell you right now, Rod, Judy doesn't know what she's in for.
Is now. You're ready for your next big step. Niagara College is a proven leader among Ontario colleges. Our students are prepared to succeed and drive innovation locally and around the world. Our supportive student culture and state-of-the-art learning facilities help you achieve your dream. Choose academic excellence. Choose experiential learning. Choose career success. Choose Niagara College today. Visit niagaracollege.ca/.
Radio. Don't worry, you can still listen to us. Download the Giant FM app and listen, or go to giantfm.com and click on the Listen Live player. No radio? No problem. Get the Giant FM app or listen at giantfm.com.
Sport the fish today by visiting the Welland Jackfish Tackle Box, the official merchandise shop of your Jackfish. Visit the stand on game day behind Section 107 or visit us online at shop.wellandjackfish.com. There you'll find official on-field hats, t-shirts, novelties, and so much more. Join the Fishhead Nation and shop today.
And don't try this at home applies.
I travel.
I'm on the road a lot.
Download the free Giant FM app and take us anywhere you want to listen to your hometown classics.
Can listen whenever I want. You can't beat that.
Get it now at Giant FM.
Mateo Porcelato leading things off in the bottom half of the fifth inning for the Jackfish. They now trail it 3-2 after the Panthers were able to take that lead back. Christian Hawk out there on the mound still now in his fifth inning of work. He's thrown 75 pitches though, so getting deep into the pitch count, but game one of the playoffs, he hasn't pitched for a little while, so you know they're going to get as much as they possibly can out of Hawk.
Well, as I look down the right field line here, some stretching happening in the bullpen for the Kitchener Panthers. No one warming up, though, just really starting to get loose, and you mentioned it, 75 pitches through 4 innings of work. He has thrown quite a bit of pitches, but he's done a tremendous job keeping the Panthers in this ball game, and now they have a 3-2 lead.
So Porcelato takes a pitch inside. He had to dance out of the way of it, and it's 1-0. He also looked down to the Jackfish bullpen. Now, Bawada, who was throwing, has sat down, so you wonder if Harford is set to come back out for the 6th inning. That's a breaking ball that misses down low, and you alluded to it last inning a little bit, but the breaking ball is not as sharp as it was early on in the game for Hawk.
No, the first couple of innings, those would be strikes almost guaranteed, and that's where the Jackfish were really struggling on picking up his routines and his tactics here as what pitch he was going to throw. As you see him go back to the fastball, he was throwing a couple of breaking balls, both of them hammering the strike zone. Now he seems to be slipping outside of the zone and electing to go back to the fastball.
2-1 pitch misses outside to Porcelato, and it's 3-1 now, and this would be massive for Porcelato to find any way to get on base, as the Jackfish now trail by 1 run, 3-2 as we play in the 5th inning. Hawk pitching out of the abbreviated windup. Pitch is outside. Porcelato walks. Jackfish have a base runner to start off the 5th inning, and here comes the number 9 hitter, Hogan Brown.
Well, Porcelato has scored the first run of the ball game, followed by Hogan Brown, the bottom of the order, and this is where we sit here in the bottom of the order for the Jackfish. We'll see if Porcelato will steal a bag here again. He was able to steal a bag on a passed ball, and he was able to steal third. So he has been very active on the bases for the Jackfish, and I expect nothing different here down by a run.
So Porcelato stands at first base, Wilson holding him on, and it's Hogan Brown, the DH, to the plate. Good lead, and he's running on the first pitch. Mahoney's throw down, it's high. Porchelato steals the bag.
Yeah, again, Mahoney's throw just way too high and not in time. And this is where the Jackfish really struggled in their round against Barrie in the postseason last year, as a single all of a sudden became a double very quickly just by swiping a bag. Jackfish here now, a runner in scoring position. Down to the count, though, 0-1 on that first pitch strike.
And down in the count, number 9 hitter. Wonder if you see him square around here in the 5th inning. Not squaring around, though, and the pitch misses up high, so it evens the count at 1-1. But you're right, it almost does act like a double. When you get that walk from Porchelato, now he's in scoring position with nobody out. Porchelato had 27 stolen bases for the season, 5th in the IBL. That's his first on the playoffs. 1-1 to Brown on the outside corner. 1-2 now as Gio Morello looms on deck. Brown, in his only plate appearance today, walked. So officially 0 for 0 in the game. Once again, a long look from Hawk. We've seen this a couple times. Shaking a bunch of pitches, and if you're Brown, that's exactly what you have to do. He's got to call time and step out.
Oh, I was going to say good on Brown for just taking that extra second here, as you're right. It's been probably the 3rd or 4th time Hawk has really kind of slowed down and not agreed with Dan Mahoney.
Now he's got the pitch he wants, and he delivers it up high. Evens the count back up. Now it's 2-2. And you can see him. He is a little concerned with the runner out at second base. Checked back a few times before delivering that pitch to the plate. It is a 2-2 count. Checks the runner. Now Hawk to the plate. Misses inside. Brown backed off the dish. It was close, though. Called the ball by Mercier.
It missed inside, but not by much. Yes, it looked like he was backed right off the plate, but that ball just coming inside on Hogan Brown. That's a really good pitch that I thought was going to ring him up.
But it is called a ball, and now a 3-2 count. And the pitch from Hawk. It's on the ground through the hole into left field. That's a base hit. Getting the wave around is Porchelato. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time and high. Porchelato scores. Brown pulls into second on the throw, and the game is tied at 3.
Well, it's a good hit and run play as Porchelato was flying around third. The throw in was over the head of Dan Mahoney, but he was already at the plate as the ball was coming in. So it's a huge hit by the bottom of the order man, the DH, Hogan Brown, who had 20 RBIs coming into the postseason, drives in a run here to tie the ball game up. That's a huge hit from number 24 in white, Hogan Brown.
Brown coming up big here to tie up this ball game, and in the postseason, it's a lot of the times maybe the unsung guys that come through. Now, of course, you need your best players to be your best players, but they have had good production from the bottom of their lineup here as Morello fouls one off, falls behind 0-1, and it's just so important that that's bottom of the lineup is able to come through with big hits with runners out there on base. And Hogan Brown, I mean, he's had a decent year for a guy hitting in the number 9 spot, coming in to play throughout the season with a 287 batting average, but a 393 on base percentage. And a lot of speed out there at second base right now as well. Morello's behind in the count. It's 0-1. Breaking ball. It's lifted out to left field. That backs up the left fielder in Jacklin. He now has it. Brown, who went halfway, is going to have to retreat back to second as that's the first out of the inning.
It's important now for the Jackfish to be able to string together a couple of timely hits. We talk about, seems like a broken record. We talk about how this lineup can hit. It's hard to find that unsung hero, the guy who maybe you don't expect to get you a timely hit, but here's a guy at the plate, Justin Gideon, who has 45 RBIs in the regular season, swiped a ton of bags, and came in with a batting average 382. Here's a guy you really want to produce a hit here and take the lead for the Jackfish.
Drove in 17 runs after coming over to the Jackfish in the 15 games that he played. One out now, and there goes the runner for third. Brown's on the move. His head first dive. He's in there. Steals the bag cleanly and now he's 90 feet away with one out.
That's just the aggressive base running of the boys from the Rose City here. Jackfish baseball will take any 90 feet they'll give you. Is the throw once again for Mahoney. Not great. That ball bounced well in front of the bag, and it made a tough play for the third baseman. So another stolen base for the Jackfish.
Brown had 22 on the season. Now with his first in the postseason, Gideon now is going to have a shot to hit with the infield drawn in. As the game is tied at 3, Jackfish looking for their first lead of the ball game here. Hawk finally has his sign now, as he is ahead of Gideon. And here comes the 0-1. It's popped away, foul. And it's 0-2.
Hawk has really done a really impressive job of getting the Jackfish batters to foul a ton of pitches away. Works against him, though, as he is increasing his pitch count. But a lot of the times they're keeping the Jackfish batters guessing, and this time just unable to square up the bat on that one as it's fouled away. Probably the 20th foul of this game.
Jackfish have been putting together solid at-bats, just trying to come through with that big hit here. 0-2 to Gideon. It's fouled away once again, as we now do see movement in the Panthers bullpen.
Yeah, righty warming up and has now started to toss the ball around just as my partner here, Brendan Legg, comes prepared, pulls out the binoculars. We'll zoom in for you, and we'll get the righty that is warming up for the Kitchener Panthers. But he was just kind of loosening up, stretching. Now he's taking off the sweater and jacket, throwing a couple of balls.
It's an 0-2 count on Justin Gideon. Here comes another 0-2 pitch. It's strike 3 called on the inside. Gideon didn't like it. He's got some words for home plate umpire Ben Mercier. The crowd doesn't like it either, but there's 2 gone.
Well, I think he's got a fair argument. Is that last pitch in the, I believe, last inning where they backed off the Jackfish batter at the knees, very similar pitch was called a ball. This one they're saying is in the strike zone for a strike. So a little bit inconsistencies from home plate umpire Ben Mercier, and that's why the fans a little fired up here for Welland. Now 2 outs in a 3-3 game, tying run 90 feet away. Excuse me, go-ahead run 90 feet away.
As the ball's off the glove of Mahoney, here comes Brown, he's going to score! Wild pitch chases Hogan Brown home, and the Jackfish have their first lead of the game. It's 4-3.
Well, if you came for textbook baseball, kind of go station to station, hit the ball and score, that is not what this has been. This has been an ugly way to score all night long. The Jackfish have been able to steal a run, a couple of wild pitches. Both sides have been able to score runs. 4-3 now for the third place Welland Jackfish. Still looking for a kind of normal run to come in and score.
Romanen's ahead in the count 1-0, and that ball gets past the catcher. It is Brady Schnarr warming up for the Panthers, and now you see in the Jackfish bullpen, Boato's back up, and he's starting to throw with a little more intensity since they've taken the lead here.
Well, Boato's been really good, a guy that can go 3-4 innings even for you, and he's really done a tremendous job out of the pen this year for Brian Esri.
It's like most teams have a guy that in blowout games they can come in and they can maybe eat 3 or 4 innings. Not many teams have a guy that comes in and can pitch 3 or 4 innings in high leverage situations out of the bullpen, but that's what Boato's been able to do all season long. I mean, he is a starter by trade. He has made starts throughout his IBL career. 3-1 to Romanen. Misses up high. He walked him. So with 2 outs, Romanen will trot down to first base, and here comes Sam Cocker, but not before Don Menard is going to come out and have a chat with the starting pitcher, Christian Hawk.
Well, if you're the Jackfish here, a little bit more excitement in the ballpark now. You get your first lead of the ball game as they have a mound visit. The manager was looking very closely at the bullpen, so I'm wondering if this may be the last batter Christian Hawk will face in the righty of Sam Cocker. But he is going to leave Christian Hawk on the mound for at least one more arm.
You see the bullpen now kind of settling down, so that may indicate that this is the last hitter here for Hawk on the mound. I mean, Hawk's been pretty good for this start for the Panthers. Like you said, I mean, it hasn't really been many big hits coming from the Jackfish that have gotten them their runs. A lot of small ball from both sides, actually, as Sam Cocker doing the catching today steps up to the plate. This is his third at-bat. He's 0 for 2. He's lined out and grounded out in his 2 at-bats so far. He's ahead in the count 1-0 with Romanen over at first base, and a bit as the throw over there, and they got him! Mattingly Romanen picked off to end the 5th inning, but the Jackfish do score 2 runs, and they now lead it 4-3 as we go to the 6th inning.
Time is now. You're ready for your next big step. Niagara College is a proven leader among Ontario colleges. Our students are prepared to succeed and drive innovation locally and around the world. Our supportive student culture and state-of-the-art learning facilities help you achieve your dream. Choose academic excellence. Choose experiential learning. Choose career success. Choose Niagara College today. Visit niagaracollege.ca/.
Radio. Don't worry, you can still listen to us. Download the Giant FM app and listen, or go to giantfm.com and click on the Listen Live player. No radio? No problem. Get the Giant FM app or listen at giantfm.com.
Hook. Sport the fish today by visiting the Welland Jackfish Tackle Box, the official merchandise shop of your Jackfish. Visit the stand on game day behind Section 107 or visit us online at shop.wellandjackfish.com. There you'll find official on-field hats, t-shirts, novelties, and so much more. Join the Fishhead Nation and shop today.
Times when don't try this at home applies.
I travel.
I'm on the road a lot.
Download the free Giant FM app and take us anywhere you want to listen to your hometown classics.
Can listen whenever I want. You can't beat that.
Get it now at Giant FM.
Top of the 6th inning, Jake Harford's day is done after 5, and the Jackfish have the lead at 4-3. It's Chris Bowan out of the bullpen. He made 19 appearances throughout the season, 2 of those starts, so most of it coming out of the bullpen. 2.89 ERA to go along with 5 saves. One of the most important pitchers on this staff.
You mentioned it. He's a guy that can come out of the bullpen in so many awkward, unorthodox, tough situations for Brian Ezri, and here's one. Comes in after Harford gives up 3 runs. They do have a 1-run lead in a 4-3 ball game, but a tight playoff game 1, expected to go a couple of innings for sure for Ezri here.
It's rifled to right field and down in front of Gideon. Steven Narabecki with a base hit to right field. So the first batter, Bowato sees out of the bullpen. He gives up a ringing single. And now here comes Robbie Gauthier, who struck out twice in this ball game. So, if anything, Gauthier is probably pretty happy that they changed the pitcher.
Yeah, it gives him a fresh look, of course, as Narabecki reaches base for the 2nd time tonight. So now Gauthier, you mentioned it, struck out twice, will face a lefty this time in Bowato.
Bowato's pitch is fouled away, and it's 0-1. And the thing that you always notice about Chris Bowato when he comes into the games is that he works very quickly for one, and he throws a lot of strikes, always around the plate. Not a guy who's going to be walking a ton of hitters. Only 12 walks through 46 and 2/3 innings pitched this year.
Yeah, I really like how you mentioned he really works quickly as his confidence is there. He just goes with what he knows with, and he really likes to make batters hit the ball. He's going to throw strike. You mentioned it, strike after strike. He does not like walking batters, as he will continue to paint that zone.
You're right, he doesn't do some soft contact, but he also had 51 strikeouts this year through those 46 and 2/3 innings. So Somebody that can kind of do it all for this Jackfish team. It's an 0-2 count to Gauthier before the pitch. He's going to pick over to first. Back easily, though, is Steven Narabecki.
I guess the only flaw you could say is, mentally he may get a little flustered at times, and his miss will be a ball right down the middle, which could be a disastrous miss for a pitcher.
Ball's fouled away by Gauthier, and it keeps the count right where it is at 2-2. He did make an appearance against Kitchener in Kitchener on August 10th. Went 4 innings in that game. Picked up the save, only allowed 1 hit and 1 earned run.
Yeah, 5 saves, and he has really done tremendous things for the Jackfish this season.
Before the 0-2, another check on the runner over there at first base. Narabecki did not have a stolen base during the season. A little bit concerned about him over there, but
making sure he doesn't get one here.
That's right, got to keep him right there at first base. The third baseman, Robbie Gauthier, at the plate. Next pitch from Boato. It's down low, just below the knees. Counts now 1-2.
Tried to get him with a fastball, but just low, and that one, you could tell Boato not entirely pleased with that pitch, but he's got his side already, right back into the windup.
Comes set at the belt. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. The breaking ball fouled off by Gauthier. And now Gauthier is putting together a good at-bat here against Chris Boato. As Boato's going to take a quick walk behind the mound now as he climbs back onto the rubber. Looks in for the sign from Cocker as Narabecki takes his lead. He's got his sign. Sets once again, and another 1-2 pitch. It's hit hard up the middle. That's a base hit for Gauthier. Stopping at second base is Narabecki. And 2 runners on now with nobody out. And it's the number 9 hitter in Dan Mahoney coming to the plate.
Well, the Panthers battling here, really sticking around and doing a good job of winning these long at-bats, something the Jackfish have been unable to do a lot of in this game, as that was about an 8-pitch at-bat for Robbie Gauthier, and he's able to win it with a huge hit right back up the middle.
So now, in a 1-run game with the number 9 hitter at the plate, you'd wonder possibly a bunting situation. I know we've seen a lot of that in this game so far. 2 runners on with nobody out. Both of them hit pretty hard, 1 to right field and 1 to center field, and you see it right there. Quickly squaring around is Mahoney. Boato took a inside move right there to keep the runner close at second. Mahoney squaring around once again. Boato delivers the pitch. It's inside. You can see Boato frustrated on the mound right now. Good job by Cocker behind the plate to keep it in front of him. And it's 1-0, especially when you see a guy at the plate like Mahoney who is squaring around very early before Boato even rocks into the windup. You know he's trying to give himself up, so it can be frustrating when you don't get the ball over the plate. 1-0 pitch. It's bunted at and fouled off. Evens up the count at 1-1 now, and we'll see in a 1-1 count if they keep the bunt on.
Yeah, it's exactly what, Boato needed there, a pitch that he gets a strike, not really a great pitch again, but enough that he's going to take an attempt to bunt at. Probably would have been a ball if he pulled back, but it's a foul ball. Gets the strike and evens the count at 1.
Squaring around early once again. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, and it's bunted in play this time. Boato up with it, checks at third base, not going to have a play, takes the easy out at first. So that'll go down as a sacrifice bunt for Mahoney. Both runners are going to move into scoring position now.
Well, we were talking about it before the game, looking at the stat sheet and seeing SH, wondering what that actually was, rather than SB, not stolen base, of course. And you don't see too many sack bunts in the IBL. There's a textbook sack bunt to move the base runners over into scoring position with 1 out.
And it brings up Jet Jarvis to the plate as he takes a strike on the outside, who's 2 for 3 in the game. With only 1 out, the infield has to come in First time today, Jarvis facing a lefty. Of course, the starter in Hartford was right-handed. Bowato pitches, and it's fouled away. He jumps ahead of Jet Jarvis, 0-2. On deck is Blake Jacklin, another left-handed hitter that Bowato will be able to face off against. Sitting in an 0-2 count right now to Jet Jarvis. One out, and here comes the 0-2. It bounces in the dirt. It's blocked behind the plate by Cocker. And it makes the count.
His frustration level sometimes shows. And you want to stay as calm and cool as collected as he is kind of driving the defense here in a 4-3 Jackfish lead. This K could be really a turning point in the ballgame.
Pitch to Jarvis, swing and a miss. Got him on a breaking ball for the second out of the inning, and a massive strikeout there from Bowato.
Well, I'm going to take it as if I know what I'm doing a little bit there on that one, as he's able to come across the plate, and he's going to feed everyone in the ballpark, as that gives everyone 5 free chicken wings with that strikeout. But that's so huge for his confidence in a tough situation. Already coming in off the bench in a tough spot, only up a run, coming in after not a great start from Hartford, but a good outing. And now he's able to sit down the leadoff man of Jet Jarvis.
Now he's got to face Blake Jacklin, and it's fouled away.
Very dangerous ballpark here today, as there's another one right between the eyes of a fan if he was texting. Good thing that fan had a pond water in his hand watching some baseball.
Always got to stay alert here, especially today. For some reason, this is the first time I've seen this many baseballs go into the crowd like that.
Well, the real scary one came a couple of innings ago when it went right above the dugout of the Kitchener Panthers. Luckily, everyone is okay, as that one did hit the dugout and not a baseball cap.
So Bowato, after getting the strikeout of Jarvis, now jumps ahead 0-2 to Jacklin. Still 2 runners in scoring position, though, standing at third base right now, as the pitch is popped up into foul territory, but it'll get out of play. At third base is Steven Narabecki, and at second base is Robbie Gauthier. And still an 0-2 count. Bowato would love another big punch-out.
You know how excited he will be. Sorry. But you know just how his confidence is there. If he can strike him out here, how much that'll bring to the next time he steps on the mound in the next inning.
Jacklin now digs back into the box. Welland Jackfish faithful clapping along here, trying to get Bowato through the 6th inning. Here comes the pitch. It misses up high. Makes the count 1-2 now. Bowato is trying to set down Jacklin. If Jacklin does find a way to get on base, that'll be Liam Wilson coming to the plate. So this is a big guy to set down. If you're Bowato, don't want to see Wilson coming up with runners on. Jacklin had a base hit his last time. The next pitch in the dirt, it's blocked. Thinking about coming home was Narabecki, but he thought better of it and went back to third base. Counts even now at 2-2.
Really no play for Narabecki to be able to get down to home plate, as Bowato really did a good job of getting there in time, but a better block from Sam Cocker, pushing that ball right down the third base line. Would have been a tough play, but a good defensive effort from the Jackfish on a poor pitch.
So a 2-2 count now. Bowato once again trying to set down the number 2 hitter in Blake Jacklin. Next pitch is hit hard. Out to shortstop. Gloved by Smybert. His throw is in time at first. Chris Bowato works out of it and preserves the 4-3 lead for the Jackfish, as the top of the 6th inning comes to an end on a ground out to the shortstop, James Smybert. We go now to the bottom half of the 6th inning with the Jackfish leading it by 1. You're watching postseason Welland Jackfish baseball.
All right, we got Emma and Paige versus Kylie and Liv. Here's how this works. Welcome to the Tim Hortons Stack and Dash. When I say go, you're going to take off, grab a donut, bring it back to your partner, stack it. Once all 4 are stacked, you're going to take off back to Jacques. First person across the line wins $25 to Tim Hortons. Fans, It's Thursday. You've had a lot of pond water. Let's make some noise. I love it. Girls, you ready? Girls, you ready? Hey, pay attention. Come on. Ladies, you ready? On your mark, get set, go! Here we go. They're pretty excited. They didn't even know you get to win a prize for this. Do it. I don't know what happened. Get back there. All right, film number 2. James, I want to hear you. Come on. Make noise as the board says. There we go. There was something out there. All right, last donut. And they're going to be off until they know what they're doing here. Out of the way. Well, hold hands. We got an anchor. There we go. Congratulations. You want them home with $25 to your hearts. Hands one more time. Make some noise for our contestants.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Kitchener Panthers, number 93.
Here comes Sam Cocker to the plate. Jackfish lead it 4-3 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. New pitcher into the game for the Kitchener Panthers. It's Brady Schnarr. So both pitchers in this game just getting through 5 innings. Harford on the Jackfish side. Hawk on the side of the Panthers. The ball's fouled back. Count evens up at 1-1. For Schnarr on the season, 0-3 record, 778 earned run average. He made 9 appearances on the season and 17 strikeouts in 17 and a third innings. He gets Cocker to pop a ball up into foul territory. Liam Wilson underneath, and he makes the catch. Schnarr quickly gets Sam Cocker, and there's one gone.
Yeah, I think both managers would want their starting pitchers to maybe go 1 or 2 more innings in this ball game. This series, 4 games in 4 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So a lot of arms are going to be used here. And you want to try to preserve your starters. Maybe rotation only goes to 4 guys in the postseason. As you talked about it earlier, the batting averages in the postseason obviously fluctuate compared to the regular season, as you do see your aces come out a lot more, especially as we go deeper into the playoffs.
So Smybert takes a big swing and comes up empty. Smybert made a great play to finish off the top half of this inning as he takes a strike on the outside corner. Saw a few defensive miscues early on from him. That ball was hit hard out there to shortstop. And he was able to get the final out. The pitch bounces in there from Schnarr. And the count's now 1-2.
Kind of a weird pitch there from Schnarr. As it bounced in, but I don't think the catcher, the pitcher, or the batter knew where that pitch was going. Luckily, the reaction time from Mahoney was able to block it.
Schnarr's pitch is popped up on the infield. Incoming is Marsden. Wilson's there as well, and it's Whalen ending up making the grab. Whalen had to go a long way to make that play coming in from shortstop. It's always tough. You get all the infielders converging. You got the mound to worry about, but he's just able to make the play.
Well, that ball was like he was holding on to his phone as it almost fell over the edge of Niagara Falls, trying to get the best picture he could, bobbling in his hands, and he's just able to squeeze that phone and reel it back in on the proper side of the fence, just enough to hold on to that baseball.
It's Tyler Dupuis now taking a pitch down low for Schnarp. This is his first appearance in over a month. The last time he pitched was July 23rd. Next pitch to Dupuis is taken for a ball. It's 2-1, and he does have a bit of an inflated ERA, up over 7, but his last 5 appearances, 3 runs or less, in all of those, the ball's fouled away.
Well, this has been the kind of crux for the Kitchener Panthers, has been their pitching. As their bats have been good, their defense has been decent, but the pitching has really been the kind of thing that's keeping them from getting to that elite team level this season. As you look at their ERAs, and it speaks for themselves. But anything can change in the postseason as we see a tightly contested 4-3 ball game here in the 6th.
It's funny, talking before the game, we were kind of saying, well, we won't see a low-scoring affair. We were wrong about that as Dupuis hits a ball hard to center field. Andy Leader, though, right underneath it, makes a two-handed grab. And the Jackfish are retired in the 6th inning. Dupuis flies out to center field. As we go to the back third of this game, we go now to the 7th inning here at the Pond.
Is now. You're ready for your next big step. Niagara College is a proven leader among Ontario colleges. Our students are prepared to succeed and drive innovation locally and around the world. Our supportive student culture and state-of-the-art learning facilities help you achieve your dream. Choose academic excellence. Choose experiential learning. Choose career success. Choose Niagara College today. Visit niagaracollege.ca/.
Radio. Don't worry, you can still listen to us. Download the Giant FM app and listen. Or go to giantfm.com and click on the Listen Live player. No radio? No problem. Get the Giant FM app or listen at giantfm.com.
Booked? Sport the fish today by visiting the Welland Jackfish Tackle Box, the official merchandise shop of your Jackfish. Visit the stand on game day behind Section 107 or visit us online at shop.wellandjackfish.com. There you'll find official on-field hats, t-shirts, novelties, and so much more. Join the Fishhead Nation and shop today.
Times when don't try this at home applies.
I travel.
I'm on the road a lot.
Download the free Giant FM app and take us anywhere you want to listen to your hometown classics.
Can listen whenever I want. You can't beat that.
Get it now at Giant FM.
Welland Jackfish.
7th inning now. Chris Bowato now into his 2nd inning of work here. He got into a bit of a jam in the 1st inning, but he was able to work out of it in a big way. And he I mean, you kind of mentioned it, but he showed a ton of emotion coming off the mound. And definitely wears his heart on his sleeve, regardless. Negative emotion, positive emotion, always putting it all out there. He gave it what he had to finish off that last inning, and it was finished off by a nice play at shortstop, too, by Smybert. Now he's got to face the dangerous Liam Wilson in the 7th inning. Boato's first pitch misses up high, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, that play by Smybert really makes up for the couple of errors he had earlier in the ball game, as he had a bobbled play, which could have been a double play, only turned one, and then one that hopped right beside him, unable to make the play. That play, though, he made in the 6th to end the inning. Probably the defensive play of the game so far, halfway through the ball game.
So after that pitch, he missed to Wilson. Bowato now taking a walk around the mound, and he might have shaking out his arm a little bit after that pitch, but now he's back on the rubber. Wilson, Leader, and Marsden here in this 7th inning for the Panthers. Next pitch to Wilson is fouled off, wide of third.
It almost looked as if he took some off that third offering here to Wilson to start things off here in the 7th inning. So we'll keep our eye on Bowato to see.
First out.
Well, a ground ball is a good way to kind of give your pitcher a little bit of time now. Good defensive play to get Wilson out and bring up Andy Leader. So you're able to get through the top of the order Now a man, Andy Leader, who I believe is making his first start at Welland Stadium this season. I don't believe he played in one game when the Panthers came to town. But he
hits a ball hard to center field, but Morello's right there to make the catch. Quickly 2 gone now.
You're quick. Here I am thinking you're nose deep in your stats book, trying to confirm that for me, and wow. Out of the corner of your eye. Now that is the next Vin Scully right there.
So Andy Leader did play. He has played at least one here.
I know the last 2 or 3 I remember them. They've only come here 3 or 4 times.
3 times, yes. As that pitch is hit to left field. Backing up Nicholson, still going back now towards the line. He's got it, and a very efficient inning for Chris Bowato as he makes easy work of the 3-4-5 hitters. And it retires the Panthers. Jackfish still lead at 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here at the pond.
Those legs, those arms, and those lungs are one. At the old ball game, keep the fat lady out of the pond.
It's the bottom of the 7th inning now after you saw the great singing by Welland's own Harry Carey. Sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. That's my favorite tradition at the pond.
Harry Carey's a legend here at the pond, and he gets the fans right into it. This one has a chance at us.
Yeah, it was a breaking ball that bounces on the roof above us, and if there was no roof, it would have been a pop fly right into my lap.
He's got binoculars, the baseball mitt, a couple of waters, paper. He's got everything. He's prepared. The roof had our heads, though.
I don't actually have a mitt up here.
You will next game.
Schnarr back out on the mound for his second inning of work for the Panthers. Nicholson checked his swing. They had to check down at first base. Ryan Herron said no swing, so it's a ball, and it's 2-1 on the number 7 hitter. 7, 8, 9 due up. That's Nicholson, Porcelato, and Hogan Brown. Next pitch is inside. 3-1 on Nicholson now, and Nicholson trying to get his bat going a little bit. He struck out both times here today.
Yeah, and we talked about him batting .298, comes in this ball game really in a slump for the Fish.
It's popped to left field. Calling everybody off was Blake Jacklin, and you could hear him all the way from up here calling off the shortstop, Welland. Nicholson is set down on the pop fly to left field, and here comes Mateo Porcelato.
You go back to when Justin Gideon was announced as a Fish, as he came over in a trade from the, picked up from the Hamilton Cardinals after Chris Lazara came over from the Cardinals, and he struggled really settling in with the Jackfish. A couple of weeks it took him to really settle down and became his old Justin Gideon self, smacking balls out left, right, and center.
As that ball smacked to right field, and it's down for a base hit. Mateo Porcelato gets on for the third time here today. He's been on base every time.
Yeah, and for Nicholson, it's like he's in a little slump that he's trying to get out of. And unfortunately, some takes a little bit longer than others. In this one, it seems it's been the last couple of weeks or so. He's just unable to just find his rhythm and have good at-bats.
And now it's Hogan Brown to the plate, and Hogan Brown had a base hit his last time that drove in a run. And then he also came around the bags and scored on the wild pitch to take the lead here for the Jackfish, the first lead of the game, and they've held on to it to this point. And he pulls it back, takes it for a ball just below the knees, squaring around once again. And it's 1-0. Again, with one out. A little interesting you see him square around, but again, possibly just to see a pitch from Schnarr. He hasn't seen him yet.
Well, not every day you see the 8 and 9 hitters put up all 4 runs of the ball game, and that is the case for the Jackfish so far, as both Porcelato and Hogan Brown have crossed the plate 2 times.
Hogan Brown now sitting way up in the count. It's 2-0. Mateo Porcelato already has a stolen base today. Stole second base back in the 5th inning. Not running here. The pitch is poured over on the inside edge for a strike, and now Schnarr on the mound calls time and thought there may be a meeting on the mound, but seems like he's okay.
Well, he slipped on the delivery, went down, was able to kind of brace himself with his mitt and his throwing arm. Very frustrated, but a slippery strike to bring the count back to 2-1.
It is 2-1 on the number 9 hitter. Good lead for Porcelato. Squares around and bunts it foul. Definitely not a sacrifice that time for Brown. He's trying to bunt for a base hit, and he does have the speed to do it. You can see he was frustrated with that a bit. Pitch may have been off the plate. Evens the count at 2-2, and you're taught the biggest thing when you're bunting is you need to bunt a strike.
Well, it looked as if he was already going down the baseline to head to first base before squaring up the bat and making contact.
Makes contact on that one, but it's foul. Keeps the count right where it is at 2-2. Little surprised that we haven't seen Porcelato try to take off yet, standing over at first base.
Yeah, it's been 5 straight pitches now. He hasn't really even had a big lead off. They don't want to make a mistake. They have been caught leading off once already in the game.
That's right. Romanen was picked off in the 6th inning as they throw over there. Back easily, though, is Porcelato. And it's funny, just talks about the amount of stolen bases the Jackfish have when we say, surprised he hasn't been moving in the last 5 pitches. But he takes the lead over there. Ball's hit down and through into right field. Porcelato with speed around second base. Sliding into third. He's in there safely. Great base running from Hogan Brown to pull into second as well. Brown with his 2nd hit of the ball game, and now 2 runners in scoring position. Back to the top of the lineup for Gio Morello.
Yeah, really good throw, and I'm shocked it wasn't picked off. Instead, they go all the way to third, and that would have maybe held up Hogan Brown at first, but a great heads-up play by Hogan Brown to realize the throw is going all the way to third. He's going to go and make an attempt at second, able to easily get into second base, and now he's 2 runners in scoring position for the Jackfish. Huge opportunity here for the top of the order for the Jackfish.
And it's the guys you want up at the plate. Gio Morello flew out to left field his last time up. He's 1 for 3 in the game. That 1 hit came from the bunt single variety. It was a perfectly placed bunt down the third base line. But you think he's trying to do a little more damage than a bunt single here with 1 out and runners at 2nd and 3rd. At third base, it is Porcelato, and it's Hogan Brown at second base. Schnarr's first pitch to Morello. It's bounced out to second base off the glove of Marsden. He's going to get the out at first, but a run comes across the plate. That's Mateo Porcelato scampering home from third, and it's a 2-run lead, now 5-3.
Well, 3rd time in the ballgame, Mateo Porcelato cashes in a run for the Jackfish. So they'll trade an out for a run here. And when runs are hard to come by, a 2-run advantage, their first 2-run lead of the ball game for the home side. That's a huge opportunity. Take an advantage of, trade that run for the out. Now 2 outs, but it is a 2-run lead.
Good execution by Morello. Hit a ball hard. It just happened to be right at Marsden. But it did get a run home. And that's kind of the way the Jackfish have been playing here today. It's not about the big hit for them today. They're just executing well with runners on base. And that's kind of the name of the game in the playoffs.
Well, you got to take any run you can get. That is for sure.
That's a breaking ball off the end of the bat of Gideon. Out to Marsden. His throw is in time. The inning is over. Gideon grounds out to second base. But the Jackfish do score on an RBI ground out from Gio Morello. Porcelato comes across the plate, and they've extended their lead to 2 runs. It's now 5-3 as we go to the 8th inning. You're watching postseason baseball for the Welland Jackfish.
Is now. You're ready for your next big step. Niagara College is a proven leader among Ontario colleges. Our students are prepared to succeed and drive innovation locally and around the world. Our supportive student culture and state-of-the-art learning facilities help you achieve your dream. Choose academic excellence. Choose experiential learning. Choose career success. Choose Niagara College today. Visit niagaracollege.ca/.
Radio. Don't worry, you can still listen to us. Download the Giant FM app and listen, or go to giantfm.com and click on the Listen Live player. No radio? No problem. Get the Giant FM app or listen at giantfm.com.
Booked? Sport the fish today by visiting the Welland Jackfish Tackle Box, the official merchandise shop of your Jackfish. Visit the stand on game day behind Section 107 or visit us online at shop.wellandjackfish.com. There you'll find official on-field hats, t-shirts, novelties, and so much more. Join the Fishhead Nation and shop today.
Times when don't try this at home applies.
I travel.
I'm on the road a lot.
Download the free Giant FM app and take us anywhere you want to listen to your hometown classics.
Can you listen whenever I want? You can't beat that.
Get it now at Giant FM.
Chris Boato finishing up his warm-up tosses. He's back out on the mound for his 3rd inning of work, as he faces Stephen Whalen, the shortstop. Whalen, Narabeki, and Gauthier coming up to the plate in this 8th inning. Chris Boato trying to get through 3 innings. First pitch to Whalen is popped foul. And it's 0-1, and this would be massive. You get 5 innings from Harford, and then if Boato can get through 3, you know who's looming for the 9th.
Well, little Timmy Trumpet maybe be blaring over the loudspeaker here at Welland Stadium as Davey Mendez warming up for the Jackfish. But you're right, if you can get only 3 arms in use tonight, the Jackfish bullpen is deep. A lot of depth coming out of the pen. The starting rotation is fine. Just have to be able to limit the pitches here for Boato.
That's a strike call on the outside against Whalen, and Boato had a very quick 7th inning. He'd like to replicate that here. He had a ground out and 2 flyouts in that inning. Didn't have to throw very many pitches, which allows him to come back out for this 3rd inning of work. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. It gets away from Cocker momentarily, but he's up with it. His throw easily beating Whalen at the bag. Strikeout and a 2-3 putout for the first out here in the 8th.
Well, that's what you need. Just simple strikeouts here. Keep the damage very limited. You don't want too many balls getting hit by this Kitchener Panther lineup. This is the bottom of the order for the Kitchener Panthers. So you bring up hopefully a couple more outs and good outs from Chris Boato. And that'll pave the way for Davey Mendez, the closer for the Fish.
Boato facing another lefty in Narabeki, and he gets a swing and a miss. Boato delivers now an 0-1. That's on the outside corner. Narabeki nodding his head, knew it was right there on the outside. And it's 0-2 now. Looks like David Bruinsma is up in the Panthers bullpen. Here comes the 0-2 from Bowato. It's put in play. Flared out to left field. That's Smybert backing up now. Backtracking. He makes the grab. A little bit of a tough play that time. Smybert had to go a long way, but he got it for the second out.
I was going to say, if you've ever actually had a chance to step out, maybe you've played here at Welland Stadium, the outfield not the smoothest, even though it looks immaculate. That is a really tough play to be able to backpedal, find your footing, know where everyone is. The infielders and the outfielders all coming together, back everybody off, and keep your eye on that baseball. Really good executed play there from the shortstop, James Smybert.
And now it's Robbie Gauthier coming to the plate, third baseman for the Panthers. And again, Smybert had a little bit of trouble early on in this game defensively, but he has really come back strong. Made the nice play to finish off the sixth inning, and then he went back and made that play look easy.
Well, that sixth inning right now is the play of the game in my mind, because that really could have changed the way this game looks right now, as that would have been 2 outs rather than 3 with 2 runners on, with a big man coming up of Liam Wilson.
So it's 1-1 now on Robbie Gauthier. Gauthier has struck out twice and singled to center field. Picked up that single against Bowato his last time up. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. 2-1 now.
Bowato quickly owning that pitch, though, kind of patting himself on the chest, saying that was on me, not the umpire. So it's an outside call, and I think Bowato knew right away it was outside.
2-1 is in the air to left field. Moving over is Nicholson into the alley. He's got it. 3 strong innings from Chris Bowato out of the bullpen. And the Jackfish hold their 5-3 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Now, you're ready for your next big step. Niagara College is a proven leader among Ontario colleges. Our students are prepared to succeed and drive innovation locally and around the world. Our supportive student culture and state-of-the-art learning facilities help you achieve your dream. Choose academic excellence. Choose experiential learning. Choose career success. Choose Niagara College today. Visit niagaracollege.ca/.
Don't worry, you can still listen to us. Download the Giant FM app and listen. Or go to giantfm.com and click on the Listen Live player. No radio? No problem. Get the Giant FM app or listen at giantfm.com.
Booked? Sport the fish today by visiting the Welland Jackfish Tackle Box, the official merchandise shop of your Jackfish. Visit the stand on game day behind Section 107 or visit us online at shop.wellandjackfish.com. There you'll find official on-field hats, t-shirts, novelties, and so much more. Join the Fishhead Nation and shop today.
Times when don't try this at home applies.
I travel.
I'm on the road a lot.
Download the free Giant FM app and take us anywhere you want to listen to your hometown classics.
Can you listen whenever I want? You can't beat that.
Get it now at Giant FM.
It's the bottom of the 8th inning. Mattingly Romanen He's going to start things off. Number 3 hitter, then Sam Cocker and James Smybert. To greet the new pitcher, it's David Brunsma, playing for his hometown team in Kitchener, playing in his 3rd IBL season, and he's been a big arm for them out of the bullpen. 3.85 ERA, 16 in a 3rd inning. So really a guy that's just going to throw 1 inning of work, and he had 12 strikeouts, but also 12 walks. Somebody that can get a little bit wild at times.
He's got that sidearm, underarm style. As you see it there. He got a little wild. How about right off the number 8, the top of the snowman on the jersey for Romanen?
So not the most fun way to get on first base, but Romanen gets on for the 2nd time, and here's Sam Cocker now. Cocker trying to break out here. He's 0 for 3 in the game so far. Romanen was picked off at first last time. The pitch misses inside once again from Brunsma. You're right. Very unorthodox delivery from him. Drops down, throwing sidearm here.
Well, his first couple of warm-up pitches, I know, were way outside and way inside, just trying to really get settled in. And his 3rd pitch hits Romanen. And now the first one to Cocker, just nearly inside, but almost catches a piece of that jersey as well.
So it's a 1-1 count as Cocker fouled it away. Brunsma trying to work back into the zone. That's a breaking ball and a good pitch on the outside corner, and it's 1-2 now. See if he works that into the mix a little bit more, as he's been a little erratic with the fastball coming out of the bullpen, but you can see why he has good numbers. I mean, he's a tough guy to face, especially for right-handed hitters, and that's a breaking ball swung on and missed by Sam Cocker. He set down on strikes for the first out.
Well, I think that last pitch kind of stunned Cocker a little bit, as the pitch before just narrowly missing his jersey, and then Brunsma comes back with a bullet of a pitch right down the middle and gets him with a breaking ball. And you're right, it's a lot tougher for righties going up against that unorthodox style. Now a lefty coming to the plate of James Smybert.
So after hitting the first batter he sees, he strikes out the next one in Cocker. First time today he will see a left-handed hitter out in this Jackfish lineup. 1 out in the inning, and you don't see any movement down in the Jackfish bullpen right now. Pitch misses outside from Brunsma. Two and 0 now. And it's just so much easier when you face a guy who doesn't throw on the same side as you, especially when he's coming from the sidearm slot like Brunsma is, and it's just easier to read the pitches, which Smybert has done. And it's now 3-0.
Brunsma really wanted that pitch, and he just had a word with Mahoney, the catcher, just kind of frustrating, settling himself down as that one was well outside.
And now he misses down low for ball 4. Romanen moves up to second base on the walk. And here comes Tyler Dupuis now with 1 out and a runner now in scoring position.
Well, primo time here for Tyler Dupuis to have a game here and really put his stamp on the baseball game. It is a 5-3 Jackfish lead, but it seemed any run was kind of scraping from the bottom of the barrel today, really struggling to find runs and rhythm into the game. So, runner in scoring position in the bottom of the 8th inning. This could be a huge timely hit for Tyler Dupuis to extend this lead going into the 9th.
Jackfish still looking for that one big hit in the game to really bust things open. We'll see if Dupuis can deliver it. Pitch is on the inside corner. Wow. Got the strike call on the inside, and it's 0-1.
I was going to say it backed Dupuis off the plate, and he really didn't seem like he was standing that close on top of the plate. Good call by Mercier to give the strike to the Kitchener Panthers righty.
And now a wild pitch is uncorked from Brunsma. Both runners going to advance. Romanen now into third, Smybert up to second.
Well, now a hit is even more timely and needed for the Jackfish here as Dupuis sets in. Dupuis this season with 24 RBIs coming into the game. Chance for 25 and 26, of course, 1 and 2 of the Dominico Cup playoffs. But this could really be that timely hit and blow it up the game a little bit.
Infield playing in now for the Panthers. Dupuis swings and fouls it away. And it's now 1-2. Bruinsma played college baseball in the U.S. at Iowa Central Community College before coming over and playing for the University of Guelph in the OUA. Was a junior call-up for the Panthers in 2019 as he misses outside. And it evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, I'm shocked they're not trying to paint that inside corner again, as that seems to be where he's having success. Last two pitches, though, including the wild pitch, trying to go outside of the plate rather than going right back in at the knees where he's getting those strike calls.
Pitch to Dupuis is outside. It fills up the count at 3-2, and you're right. When you get that call on a pitch that was borderline at best, you think you'd go right back to it to try to get the same result. But no, they've really stayed away after getting that call, so we'll see what they go with now. 3-2, they do get it inside, but it's fouled off by Dupuis. He may have fouled it off his foot.
Seems to be tender a little bit, hopping kind of just outside the batter's box, takes a quick little swing, puts his pressure back on both feet, and he seems to be okay. May have just been a little antsy, was unable to pull that baseball.
The 3-2 again to Dupuis, hit hard, and it's down for a base hit. Romanen's in to score. Now being held is Smybert. He's got to get back to the bag. He will. Big RBI single for Tyler Dupuis. It extends the lead to 3, and it's 6-3 Jackfish.
Tyler Dupuis came to play there with a huge RBI that almost cashed in too, but a good job by the third base coach, Ricky Piliteri, putting up the stop sign on James Smybert, as Smybert had to slam on the brakes as the ball was thrown in quickly from the left fielder, Blake Jacklin. But that's a huge hit, and that will be a mound visit and a pitching change. So Bruinsma gives up the run, and the Jackfish extend the lead to 3.
David Bruinsma out of the game. New pitcher on for the Panthers as we play in the 8th inning. Brandon Nicholson to the plate. Pitching change, Brett Reed into the game. For the Panthers, Reed 0-6 on the year. Mostly a starter. Made 10 starts throughout the season, over 11 appearances. 42 2/3 innings, struck out 24 hitters and walked 37 batters. Another guy that struggles with the control, and you can see that, his ERA up over 12 for the season. He did start that last game of the year for Kitchener against Guelph in that close game that they did end up losing. But he's going to be tasked with getting through this inning here. And if you take a look down into the bullpen for the Jackfish, there is nobody warming up. So I guess Chris Bowato possibly coming out once again for the next inning. They're not going to throw through this time as Dupuis steals the bag. And that's heads-up base running by Dupuis. Likely not going to throw it to second base after they were burned earlier on in this game. So he steals the base.
I was just going to say, I think they learned their lesson as the Jackfish will double steal at any given point, especially if they can take a 4-run lead to the top of the 9th inning, rather, as we're in the bottom of the 8th. But that is a huge heads-up play by both sides. The catcher and Mahoney to hold off, and also a huge stolen base for Tyler Dupuis.
So a 1-1 count on Nicholson. Nicholson 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a flyout to left field. He'd take a flyout right here with 1 out and a runner at third base. Infield drawn in. Next pitch to Nicholson. It's a swing and a miss. That's a breaking ball from Reed. And it's 1-2.
Just looking to try to get out of this slump, anything. Just make good, solid contact, even if it's a fly ball deep to right field. Anything just to get the bat going a little bit and kind of get out of this slump.
Sitting in a 1-2 count right now, trying to avoid his 3rd strikeout of the game. Runners take their leads. 1-2 pitch is hit hard. Diving stab picked up by the shortstop Welland. He'll throw it across the diamond in time at first base. Dupuis going to move up, and that's a double play, but a run scores. Smybert easily crossed the plate before the inning was over. But a busy play to end off the inning. Panthers do get 2, but the Jackfish score another one, and it's now 7-3. Chris Bowato coming back out for the 9th.
There I am. Hello. All right, we got musical chairs here. We've got Hunter, Emma, Ethan, and Lucy for a chance to win $20 at Blue Star Restaurant. You know musical chairs. I don't have to explain it. Rod, hit those beats. Ooh, Cotton Eye Joe. I like it.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Well, is it? Lucy's out. All right, round 2. Let's go. Quick times. Ooh, chicken dance. Last round, this kid love it. All right, we got Emma and Ethan. Here we go, last round. Wow, I fired this up. No fat language. 24 minutes. Back to back. Congratulations, Ethan. You're walking home with $20 at Blue Star Restaurant. Fans, make some noise for Ethan. All right.
Ethan is a veteran. Look at that. Fans, once again, playoff baseball. Game 3 in this best-of-5 series is upcoming Saturday night, 7 p.m. right here. Leading off the 9th inning for Kitchener. Catcher number 45, Dan Mahoney.
Ninth inning we go now. Chris Bowato still out there on the mound. His 4th inning of work. Looking to pick up the save here in Game 1 of the playoffs. The ball's popped up into foul territory. That's Porcelato. He's near the warning track. He's got it. For the first out, Dan Mahoney retired on a foul out to first base.
While the Jackfish will keep the trumpets in the music room today as they'll send Bowato out. However, that's a great start for Bowato. He has been good, really good, coming in relief at Jake Harford, and that's almost like a starter mentality. Start a new game fresh. You want to earn every single out for your team. And boy, he has been really solid. To me, the difference maker for the Jackfish defensively.
Next pitch is a strike, and you have to, maybe the thinking here as Jet Jarvis stands in at the dish, you're going to be playing possibly 4 games in 4 days. you know what you're going to get out of Boato, as he's been very good all game long, as that's a breaking ball, check swing, but that point becomes moot as it's a strike. And it's 0-2. Boato's pitching so well, you're probably thinking maybe we can save Mendez, keep him in the bullpen so that we have him, because we have to play so many games in straight days. Boato's breaking ball misses outside. Now, of course, after this game, Boato will have to take a few days off after pitching the 4 innings. But now, if Boato can finish this off, you really have all of your bullpen available coming up in the next games.
Oh, and I think it gives a kind of tip of the cap to Boato, saying what a great job he did.
And he continues that job with a strikeout. Breaking ball right over the plate, may have been tipped into the glove. That's the second out of the inning, and the Jackfish are 1 out away from taking a 1-0 lead on this series.
Well, I'd love to get the radar gun out on that last pitch, as that was a slippery, slimy pitch out of the hands of Boato. What a nasty pitch from the lefty. And that absolutely fooled Jet Jarvis.
Tough hitter to fool as well. Now it's Blake Jacklin at the plate, and he takes outside. It's 1-0. Boato has gone 1-2-3 in the last 2 innings. And again, this is a guy with 5 saves during the year, trying to pick up his first save of the postseason. Pitches right there on the outside. And it's 1-1 with Liam Wilson standing on deck. And it's good to see the Jackfish offense break out a little bit towards the end of the game and end up scoring 7 runs. 1-1 from Boato. That misses down in the dirt outside. And it's 2-1. A lot of the time this game, the offense looked like it was a little bit stagnant. They had to play a little bit of small ball, but they were still able to score a bunch of runs.
And I think that's the credit to Jason McKay, Brian Esri. What they've put together here is, there's not just a plan A of we're going to come out and hit, and if that doesn't work, well, I guess it's up to the defense to steal a win. Turn the page a little bit. Let's try to play small ball. Let's try to steal a bunt, steal a run. And that's exactly what they did.
2-1 pitch flown out to center field. That's Gio Morello coming over, calling everybody off. He's underneath it, and he's got it to record the final out of Game 1 of the Best of 5 series. Jackfish take it 7-3, and they now lead the series 1-0 over the Kitchener Panthers.
That's exactly what you want to come out and do here at home in a picture-perfect start to Jackfish baseball. You come out, you get a win, you get the fans into it. You have to play 3 games in 3 nights, possibly 4 and 4, with Game 5 set to go Tuesday night. Gets the fans into it. They want to come back Saturday night to hopefully close out this series.
So the Jackfish do win it 7-3. Big pitching performances. Jake Harford went 5 innings. He was good. Chris Boato out of the bullpen, though, Spencer. 4 innings. He picks up the save.
Well, I think he is the difference maker. I said it just a few minutes ago. Chris Boato comes in and really does a tremendous job out of the bullpen for the Jackfish. It's as if he just had to restart this ball game for Welland. Comes in a 4-3 lead where the Jackfish offense was not there. Really flat coming out of the pen. He comes in, picks up so many huge strikeouts for the team, and he gets the huge save and a win.
So the first game of the Dominican Cup playoffs is in the books. Jackfish take it. They now lead the series 1-0. For everyone here at the Welland Jackfish, for our producer Brent, Spencer Tangway, I'm Brendan Lang. Thank you so much for coming along. Jackfish take a lead in the series. Thank you for coming along and have a great night.
Chris, how do you feel about this big game on the